right, everybody, welcome into the Couch Potato Sports Show. Who knows how long we'll last? But that being said, that's just what we do. We've been doing it 14 years going on. By the end of the NFL season, it'll be 15 years here on the Couch Potato Sports Show, bringing you what we see in sports now. And sports are defined in a lot of different ways. And whether or not you like sports, certain sports, why sports, we cover it all. And that just all really depends upon the situation. Hey, what happened to my intro for this dude? Oh, I finally found it. I had it in the wrong section, but at least I found it because we got a special guest here this morning. We may or may not get the Sportster, the young Sportster, that being Z. We may or may not, depends on what he's doing to get ready to go to the Frisco Fighters game. But I do have, okay, I'm jealous of this guy, okay? And not because of his sports, not because of what he does on a weekly basis, not because he pays $500 in rent. I mean, so I'll bring him on anyway. Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, this is what he does every week. Cheat, the steal, the no look. Oh, there's the shot there. The one, the only. Oh my God, it's Podfather. How you doing, Podfather? Good to see you, my friend.
What's going on, Sonny? Man, it's what a night last night was. If you were not at Sword Championship Wrestling last night, watching the network failure show, as they called it, there was no failure there on our part. That's for damn sure. The network's held strong. Dude, I have the junior heavyweight champion in my stable. That is Elijah.
Uh-huh.
Guess who Sword decides to send out to face him?
I wasn't there.
Angel Camacho.
Oh!
Angel Camacho is 5,000 pounds. He is not a junior heavyweight champion. He's not in the weight class. Sugar Ray Leonard to go take on Larry Holmes.
Angel Camacho, one of my favorites. He kind of reminds me of me. He's actually a little bigger than me. So
and you know what? That guy, that large human being that he is. You know what he called me? You know, I'm not into weight shaming, but that's just wrong. Okay, that's just wrong.
That's like calling you tiny. That's funny. It's, you know, that's great. I love Angel Camacho, and I speak to him just on and off. I've seen him live many times, but I speak to him every once in a while. Love his success. I love it. But interestingly enough, I was watching your show on Thursday. You missed one of the biggest parts of the news, unless I was, working and drilled you out. You were just white noise. AEW doing dark. No more doing dark. I thought that was kind of interesting. I'll tell you what. With the only thing I wanted to do, as far as doing commentary, that was what I wanted. That was the job I wanted to call dark. Listen, I'm no Tony Schiavone. I'm no Jim Ross. I know where I stand, as far as a pecking order. I wanted dark. I wanted to go do the commentary for dark if I was going to do anything, outside of what we were doing, So hearing about dark going down was a very interesting thing. Sounds like they don't want to pay the rent on that building anymore.
Well, no. Actually, this is more of a discovery decision, because they don't want their intellectual properties on another streaming brand. And because those are on YouTube, that's why they took them off. Now, they might bring it back down the road, but then again, the amount of money they have to spend to bring in talent from all over, yes, and to do all that stuff, and it's kind of at a money loss for them. I mean, it's a great opportunity for a lot of people, but at the same time, when you have a merger like that, which WWE is going to find out here soon, they need to cut $50 million, things got to be let go sometimes. And, let's face it, nobody's really tuning in to see Dark. No, I mean, except those who are actually on the
Unless
show.
you know who's wrestling and
Yeah,
their quash matches. And
yeah.
with all
I
due
mean,
respect to the guys that have been on it that are making their way, whether it's Dream Fleming or Dante
or Dante
Smiley,
Smiley,
Connor
or Nathan
Carter.
Gray, I think got a shot on it. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, that's all well and good, and you know what? Kudos to them, and kudos to AEW for giving them the platform. But let's face it, that wasn't going to last forever, and you're only going to do so much to get so little back that you're going to continue to run it forever. I mean, hell, we have a restaurant up here in Aubrey, it's been open for 18 years. They're closing the door today. It's because rent got too high and they can't afford it. So
right.
sometimes as you said, the rent comes due, but and it wasn't the building. That was more the network saying, look, we own your property now. So if we're going to own your property, we're going to want to put it on on our stuff. So I don't think Dark's done, but I think it's going to take a hiatus for quite a while.
Well, talk to me a little bit about a buyout. I know about the buyout on WWE. That part I know. What's going on? I did not hear about the buyout on AEW. What's up with that?
Well, no, I mean with what do you call it? Whoever now owns the TBSs and Turner and things,
Turner.
they have their own streaming services out there. YouTube isn't one of them, and so clearly they want to put stuff on their intellectual properties, and I don't blame them. I mean, WWE wouldn't want to put. I mean, they have Fox and they have Peacock to run their stuff off of. So, outside those two properties, if you see Disney put WWE stuff on there, something's up. That's why WWE is so big about not having their content on YouTube.
I see. I did not necessarily know that. That goes how deep I'm into it, which is not very. I got my toe in instead of my foot.
If you remember, Zack Ryder has wonderful YouTube show that got him over more so.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. And because Vince didn't own a piece of that, he was like, "God damn, pal, I just can't have you go on other places and put your stuff on there." But when you didn't offer him anything else outside of that, then what's he going to do? So,
well, yeah, depending on how popular the show is and depending on the sponsorship that he could possibly get independently outside of that, based upon what's going on. Yeah, let's be honest. I mean, if you got eyes on the subject, you are Zack Ryder, you may want to give up the wrestling side to keep your business side because that's your money more so than getting it from somebody else. But but as far as Zack Ryder is concerned, you kind of look at a guy that is like him, and it just reminds me. I mean, go back and see what MVP did for a while on the independent circuit. I mean, we were there, we've seen it. We saw what MVP did over in that New Wrestling, what's it called? New Revolution or something? Wrestling Revolution?
World Class Revolution.
Your World Class Revolution. So they all kind of gather and small, without sounding, what's it called, repetitive or I'm stealing. It's like little territories where they kind of hang out and stuff. And what they do as far as that, I mean, we've seen that with John Morrison, hitting out there, and they make money probably, and then probably not. Oh, how do you say? Gagged on what they want to do, what they want to say, how they want to say it, and how they want to do it based upon their own product. Or they go in, because you go into WWE, you go into AEW, you're doing it their way. You're not doing it anyway, your way. And that's probably some of the problems that they have nowadays with this kind of guys, and stopping them from making more money on the outside like WWE doesn't let those guys do.
Well, the thing is that, Vince McMahon's thing is, if you want to see so-and-so, you're going to watch them on my terms, not yours.
I get it.
And honestly, not theirs either. So, because once you sign that contract, he owns you. Now, which is weird because we all call ourselves independent contractors and, and all that stuff. But let's face it, we are what we are. I mean, everybody's looking to get the big, the big contract deal for, WWE, because that's the chance to be the opportunity that you want. Hey, Bear. And other than that, I mean, until you are on that platform, you have to understand that comes with limits, and those limits take away whatever creativity you might have to fill in for what creativity they have for you. Which
interestingly enough, when you say that, you think about they don't mind your creativity as long as they have control over it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, all you got to do is go back to DX, right? You go back to DX, and when Vince McMahon didn't like all that crap. Okay, you know, more on the fact what his problem was is that he wants um, to, you know, gain control over it, which he never did with DX because they did what they wanted to, right? Which is, you know,
Well,
that's how they kept on to Vince and said, "We're going to do it. We're going to." Vince, I finally just gave up and said, "Go ahead and do it." So,
you know, it comes down to what Vince told Paul Heyman years ago when Paul Heyman wanted to cut that nasty promo on Vince right to his face, and Heyman's like, it's like, do you want to know what I'm going to say about you? And Vince's like, draw me money. So, and that's what it did. I mean, I mean, you know, Vince isn't opposed to your creativity as long as it can generate something for him.
Exactly.
Which, you know, honestly, Jerry Jones is like that. You know, I mean, all sports. I mean, Steinbrenner, when you know the Yankees, he was a big time on that. I mean, let's face it, the show Seinfeld was a New York-based show. They got involved with the Yankees, right? Steinbrenner wasn't on the show, but he allowed them to use Larry David to have his voice to be the Steinbrenner of the show. And, you know, I mean, without his okay, they wouldn't, you know, NBC wouldn't have been allowed to do that.
Yeah, exactly. And when I don't know, you go back to the days, I mean, of that time where DX and WCW, I love the power between both of them. I watch both of them. And I love everything they did back and forth. But that was still up under a big time creative control underneath Vince McMahon. Now, the difference between Vince McMahon and the young Jacksonville Jaguar owner, well, / son of owner, trying to do what his little bit is, you know, I think they were expecting a lot more than what they're doing. But here's where I think I've watched AEW and many what the 3-4 years that they've, you know, kind of come out doing what they're doing. I think they are moving away from their success that they had, that they were doing early on, trying to do new things. And that's where I think the problem with AEW in lies is they're getting away from what was successful. An example, when they came down here to Garland, all right, in the Dallas area, they went to the Garland what's that place's name? I'll remember it in a minute. Curtis Caldwell building. Place only held 5,000 people. They can sell out a 5,000 seat venue, and it was good, and it's continuous. When they moved up to the next step to 10,000, they had a hard time selling out the venue. You could see the seats were empty. Unlike WWE, they'll figure out how to develop them, or to fill those seats and develop the show. And I think they've taken a step away from what they are compared to where they want to be, and they're not ready to make that step yet, which is really trying to go up against WWE, and it's just not working right now.
Well, here's the thing: like they sold over 50,000 tickets to Wembley Stadium, right? That's the new thing.
Who did?
Right now. Yeah, and the thing
Wembley Stadium?
Yeah.
5,000 seats?
No, 50,000.
Yeah, that's not enough to eat. You want to see some empty seats? Go to Wembley with 50,000.
But here's the thing now. That's their first 50,000 seat stadium they're able to put in there right now. They're going to have more. They still got plenty of time to get enough more time ticket sales to where you can almost fill it twice. Here's the thing though. Look what happened in Puerto Rico last night. Anything overseas, anything overly overseas, they're hungry for this kind of stuff. No,
God, yeah.
You can have WWE, AEW, NWA, whatever it is. They're going to be sold out for it because they never get to see it live. So the fact that you're going to bring something brand new to them, especially AEW, which would a lot of the same talent that everybody knows, but at the same time you're going to have a different brand come there. There's a bit of excitement and there's definitely some intrigue. You're going to hey there. Sorry, I have my dog in here.
That's fine.
But I think, you know.
Yeah, but here's what I know. Not what I think I know, but what I know. Wembley Stadium with only 50,000 people on it, you're gonna see the empty. You're gonna see how empty that is. They got the wrong building.
First of all, it's 50,000 right now. You still got months to go. Still got months to go. This thing can still sell out. And once again, that's 50,000 seats of people who have actually bought tickets. You can throw out a bunch of freebies. You can throw out a bunch of whatever. You know, you can Dave Meltzer up the numbers if you want to. I mean,
yes.
So, I mean, we'll see. Once again, I'm not an AEW fan personally. I don't like the creative that much. I think too many inmates are running the asylum. I'm getting WCW vibes from it. But at the same time, I think and also I don't think they have the best workers there either. I'm sorry. I mean, you look at guys like Seth Rollins, and you look at guys like Roman Reigns, you look at guys like Cody Rhodes and what he did last night, and they had Cody Rhodes, but clearly Cody's chasing something else.
Obviously he didn't fit in evidently to what the thoughts of what could be successful. Now, that also being said, the Cody Rhodes back to WWE, he's definitely under, it's not Cody up here taking care of business. No, the business is up here taking care of Cody. It's a totally different thing. And it might be but that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. On Saturday, we'll go ahead. We'll bring in the young Sportster himself. Guys, love having him on the show on Sundays. It is the one, the only. I call him the young Sportster. He probably wants to pop me in my mouth. How you doing, Z? Good to see you.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Looking kind of good in those fighter jerseys. I mean, you about ready to head out. What time are you leaving to the game?
Oh, probably leaving about 1:15. And actually, surprisingly, this isn't a jersey. It's a custom-made shirt. So
what's on the back of it?
I don't even know. I just got this like a couple
minutes ago.
What do you
mean you don't know?
I just got this a couple minutes ago. Hang on. Here. It should be in the mirror. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, Trayshawn Foster, defensive back for the Fighters.
Yes, could you want to talk about a guy that Foster can move. I mean, that guy's very quick and he's very physical. And the only reason why I know that is I was in the second row when he popped someone over into the front row where my friends were. I say I'm smart. I sit on the second row so I don't get him in my lap. I know. That's right. Sometimes you got to use what you got, which is very little, but I know that. Good player. Good. So I'd love to go to the game, but obviously we're doing this end as well. Yes, I'm freaking tired, man. This real job is like this real job is kind of killing my vibe, man, on what I like to do. But no, it is what it is. But that being said, did you watch Backlash last night, Z?
I watched a small portion of it. I do know some of the results.
Oh well, that's not good enough. Well, maybe we'll bring him back on a little bit later. I don't know. Come on. What do you mean you didn't watch all of it? I mean, come on.
I know.
On a sports show, yeah. You're just like the Podfather, man. He just does his own thing. What's fine? I'm just giving you hell. What part did you see? What part did you? What did you take from last night's show that you can bring to us today?
Well, the Bad Bunny street fight. Considering it's Bad Bunny. It was a good match, and I'm not saying Bad Bunny is terrible. He's just not the guy that you want on every single card. But considering it was Puerto Rico, and putting him up against Damian Priest, who is also from Puerto Rico, I really think that was a good match. The way that Damian Priest was able to, keep the match intact with Bad Bunny. I watched the United States Championship match. And the ending spot, was my favorite. Whenever, what was it? Bronson Reed missed the tsunami, got back up, spear from Bobby Lashley, Theory throws him out, gets the pin. That was definitely probably the best spot of the match. The Rhea Ripley title match. Why did I always fail to say Ripley? I don't know. That was pretty good considering it's Lena Vega, which No offense against Zelina Vega.
Considering, yes.
She got a
Right,
big
yeah.
pop. She got a
No
huge
offense.
pop though last night. I mean,
Oh,
the
good God.
crowd was there.
Dude, I don't know if you're like me, but when you get that pop from someone local like that and what that was all about, it almost brings tears to your eyes watching, how much they love that person, whether
Yep.
it's Zelina Vega or whoever it may be, in that specialty side of everything. And that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. It was an emotional time. Everybody knew who was going to win that match, but it still was great for Zelina Vega.
Well, the thing about that is there's two things a wrestler / performer wants to hear: nothing but cheers or nothing but boos.
Absolutely.
And for her to walk out of there with the crowd loving every bit of what she did last night, that's a huge plus. And once again, that does a lot for her confidence too, because where was she going before this?
Nowhere.
Yeah,
almost.
absolutely. Which, by the way, leads me to the LWO. This is just nonsense. Make a new name. I mean, seriously. I mean, how are we gonna? How many more years are we gonna live on the NWO and their originality? Why don't someone come up with something original? I mean, what was the one that was over in the what was the one that the Latinos had? I forget the name of it, but the one with Conan and those. What was it called?
That was called the LWO, sir.
Huh?
For the LWO.
No. This is when they're on their own. They're on the side. The Latino something. It is something cool. I just can't remember off the top of my head. They had their own identity though. But this LWO, and I hate how that expanded into everything during the time in reality.
But you got to understand something. WWE owns the intellectual property of the LWO.
I understand that.
Why not use it? They got Latinos.
Why not come up with original? I mean, how many years are we going to watch that?
Okay, but when was the last time the LWO was actually relevant?
Well, hold on. That's why you create. Look at Judgment Day today. Look at Judgment Day. They got their own identity. They know who they are, and you know who's in that group and everything else. If you're gonna do it, I mean, come on. There's only so. Listen, the NWO by itself was all by itself. We didn't need all this other side stuff that came, but it did. Okay, and it wasn't successful back then. Why do they think it's going to be successful? Why don't they just find something original and live off of it?
Or just take an existing brand and make it better. That's all they're doing.
Making it better? How are they making it better?
They're in the process of building it. That's the thing. I mean,
okay. Maybe I'm missing something.
See, what you're missing is this. WWE has over 60 wrestlers on the roster, okay, including NXT. Way too many people for one roster, okay? So they have to have, and this is where I love they're bringing stables back, because stables can incorporate more people in a group. And you want to give them a name, it doesn't matter what their name is, make it work. That's the thing. If they can make it work, then who cares why they call it the LWO or why they call it the NWO or why they call it DX, or why they call it, as long as it works. Even Judgment Day. Judgment Day was a pay-per-view event they used to have every year in May. Okay? But now it's now it's a group. So, they find ways to use the copyrighted names that they have and say, well, if I'm paying so much money for this brand, what can I do for it? And then let's face it, I think this is more of a Triple H's deal than it was than ever Vince deal, because Vince, anything WCW related, he's done with.
I don't think it is actually. I agree with Z. I don't think Triple H even likes it either. I think they're doing it like you just said until they maybe can come up with something different. Because I'm telling you right now, maybe I'm old school. Maybe I'm just sick of seeing it. Maybe I just don't see
you're just
the need of it.
You're just old. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm just tired of seeing the same thing I've seen for the last 30 years.
I mean, it's hard to talk sports with Santa Claus, so just bear with me. I'm trying to get over this.
Yeah, I guess. But by the way, I guess I'm going to let you name drop. Someone was there last night at your wrestling promotion where, Sword Championship Wrestling. I'll even give you the floor on that a little bit. Go for it. What happened last night? Or I guess I should say who was there last night.
Well, I was there, the Podfather. I mean, people came to see the Podfather,
Yeah.
and boy, you know, they predicted network failure. They could not. That was so far from the truth. They tried to bring it. Let's face it. Last night, my junior heavyweight champion Elijah came out to take on a kid out of Arkansas or Tennessee, wherever the hell he's from, named Luke Justice. Right? Same weight class, same everything. What does SOAR do? They send out Angel Camacho.
And still, I think
Angel
that still
Camacho
makes me
is
laugh.
5,000 pounds.
He's on the border of 5. He's probably 450.
And guess what? He had the nerve to call me Tubby.
Yeah. Now, get away from that. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the name drop. Who's the name drop from last night besides what you think it is?
Okay, well, former WWE Tag Team Champion Sir Mo was in the house. Let's see. I saw none of the usual people, and like I know Robert Martin couldn't make it out there. He had sort of other concert he had to go to. Michael Irvin was there. You had there. I don't remember now, but yeah, apparently some guy used to wear number 88 for the Cowboys was there.
Is that what it is? Some guy, and not Des Bryant, right?
No. It was a better 88.
Yeah, there you go. I'll agree. You finally said something I agree with.
Look, in all honesty, for me, is one of those things where it's the thing for me to sit there and go, now I get to perform in front of one of my favorite football players. That was kind of cool. So.
Yeah, there you go. So, finally, I had to drag it out of him.
The funny thing was, years ago, when I had a sports card store in Carrollton, Texas, he lived in Carrollton at the time. I don't know if he's still there or not. He came in my store, and he was looking for cards that had his name on it, and he was really pissed at me because they were sold for so less. I was like, sorry, you don't book as high.
By the way, I think I figured it out because I was looking. The Latin American Exchange was one of Conan's, and they did another one too. Another LAX. That's it. Thank you. You know, I knew you were good for something. LAX. I mean, you know, see that. But now going back to Latino world, I guess I'm just sick of it, and I don't care. However, that match last night, if you didn't get the opportunity to watch that whole thing where they brought them out, listen, say whatever you want. I'm a Carlito fan, always been a Carlito fan. I didn't care if he won a match or not. I just like him personally. Never mind, I talked to him for like 20 minutes, and if I could, I'd live with him. This guy's a great guy. He's just a great guy in general.
So love that.
But that's it. That's it. I get it. Honestly,
it was cool seeing Savio Vega there.
Savio, Savio. Old school, baby. The old school Savio. I loved him when he wrestled. So you know, and you know, back in the days, and him, Savio Vega, D'Lo Brown were two of my favorite wrestlers. You know, as far as their personality, I just loved them, especially D'Lo. But Savio, I love Savio because of his persona and what he brought energy to matches. So,
what was anybody alarmed that Brock Lesnar walked out into that match last night with blood all over his face?
No, and I'm telling you what. Go ahead, Zeke. Go ahead.
That was that the first time we've seen blood since they changed the rating?
That much blood. We've always seen a little trickle here and there.
Yeah, that was a lot of blood. I mean, that ring that might as well
planned or not.
Make it a.
You know what though?
You think it was planned?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I mean it's Puerto Rico. They gotta try and make it special. You know, they don't go to Puerto Rico that much. They gotta make that special.
Yeah, I mean, in Puerto Rico matches, everybody would bleed in every match over there. I mean,
but the WWE's been trying to stay away from that kind of stuff. But I'm going to tell you the reason why. I wouldn't without the blood. I wouldn't have bought the match. You know, I walked out of the match saying, "Hey, you won the match." You know, the blood and everything. If the blood wasn't there and they did it the same way how they ended it, I wouldn't have bought that. So the blood really kind of brought it around to where it was somewhat believable for me to watch and say, "Hey, that was pretty freaking cool." If you were gonna have Cody win that match, I think that's about the only way they could have done it.
It has to matter. That's the bottom line. It has to really matter.
Yes. And to me, it made sense. Now, that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. Catch it from 12 to 3 on Sundays, 9 to noon during the football season. I'm telling you, Cody Rhodes is it's getting old. Not only that, the guy has no coordination on his own music. He never knows when it's going to hit, when he's supposed to do this. He's sitting down for 30 seconds before he does this. He gets onto the cut before he does this. I mean, don't you know your own song? Don't you know when it's going to hit? Don't you know how long it takes you to climb a thing to do that instead of sit there for 30 seconds and then do it? I mean, the guy has to listen, I got more rhythm than Cody Rhodes, for God's sake. I mean, I know when it hits. I know when it's going to be done. I'm sitting here, why are you down there 30 seconds before you're supposed to do this? To me, it don't make any sense. And it's getting old because now it's getting to the point where I think it's stupid.
You know what this reminds me of? There's a meme out there. This really fat guy wearing nothing but underwear and he's eating food. And he's looking at the camera saying, I can do a better moonsault. No. Listen, I'm not saying I'm a better wrestler. I am a better dancer. I am a better coordinator. I am better than Cody Rhodes on his own damn song. And so, I said it, that I am there. I said it, and I'll say it again. The guy needs to, dude, he's not Shawn Michaels, okay?
That's obvious because Shawn Michaels at least knew his music.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not judging a wrestler based on his entrance stuff.
Wait. This is World Wrestling Entertainment. Come on, get the entertainment right too. If you're gonna do it, get the entertainment right.
You know what? If he messed up on the song and the rest of the show was fine, I'm fine with it.
Well, could you imagine the Undertaker missing his cues?
I think you're finding a reason to bitch. That's all it is.
No, I'm tired of him because he can't even do his own. Can you imagine? Let me ask you a question, Z. I'm going to ask the youngers. Watching the Undertaker, would you felt less of him if he couldn't even do his own damn entrance?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's his same old entrance that he's been doing for years, then yeah. I mean, maybe if it was like a new entrance, like maybe if they had him like fall from like a casket, or like come out from a casket or something. I don't know, something different, like maybe, but you can't botch your entrance. You can't botch
Cody Rhodes. I agree. Cody Rhodes is 85% Podfather. That's what I'm saying. There's 100%. He's at 85. He's missing on the 15, and it's noticeable.
Okay.
I was sitting there watching it last night, and I was thinking to myself, what is Trey Mack going to say for me saying that? I knew you were going to be where you were on that. That's just how much I love you. But I did come out saying it was a good match.
Okay. First of all, there was a time, a long time ago, Undertaker came out to his music, right? And the flames got so close to him, he had third-degree burns on his chest.
Yeah.
He couldn't walk down to the ring the same way he would without feeling the effects of the fire, right? You're gonna sit there and say, "Well, he didn't walk the same way, so that's not. I didn't get what I wanted to get out of that match."
Well, wait. Okay, you want to take an extreme example of the Undertaker walking next to flames, no more than a foot away from him, to Cody Rhodes with no fire and just has no rhythm.
Okay, but first of all, Undertaker is a gimmick. Cody Rhodes is not a gimmick. Okay, you have to play the gimmick because that's part of your deal. Cody Rhodes' deal is he plays the music, he goes out however he wants to celebrate them going out there. That's on him. All right, if he can't dance, he can't dance. Whatever, it don't matter. As long as he gets in the ring. I mean, I haven't seen the match with him and Lesnar yet, but I'm looking forward to it. How did he perform in that match with Lesnar? Did he look like he was worthy of being? Is he still chasing it right now? That's the thing. I thought he was going to lose last night. I really thought they were going to. I thought we were looking at hard times for Cody Rhodes right now, because I think in order for him to get back to the WWE Championship match, which however he's going to get there, he's got to fight. He's got to go through hard times, and going through Lesnar was one of them. Now, how the match ended, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with that, because Lesnar was bleeding, and clearly, what happened. So
Believable.
Yeah. So I'm cool with that. And now I think you move on to maybe Gunther or someone still a bigger stature than, for Cody, because he's got to be able to go through the Giants to get back either to Reigns, or if he's going to be in this whatever World Heavyweight Title tournament they're going to have, which apparently is going to include SmackDown people as well, which makes no sense.
Right. And I also heard through the grapevine that Roman Reigns was supposed to be a part of it. So it's kind of interesting there.
He won't be. Now, it will be interesting if Solo Sikoa is, because imagine if all the members of the Bloodline get to hide their titles.
Good. Yeah. Interestingly enough.
I mean, it reminds me of the network, really. But I'm sorry. I digress.
Yeah, I digress. So that being said, so Z, you're buying the Brock Lesnar blood. Good match, good going. What else about? I listen. I'll tell you what I saw last night that I thought was actually really good. Okay, and it was Zelina Vega, but I don't know if you watched Trey Mac's show. You probably don't, and I wouldn't blame you. I use it for work noise.
Show.
Yeah. Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, so okay. So you decided to take a nap during the day. You should have been in bed. Probably would have been better for you the next day. There.
Well, it didn't help that he was on the 420 show, but don't matter.
There you go. So yeah, exactly.
It was happy birthday to me, and I get Z on my show. So there you go. But
yeah. Don't listen to him now. All right. So the Zelina Vega. But I'm going to tell you, you were talking about Bad Bunny. I want to hop back to that. Anyway,
wow.
I know that was bad. That being said, of course, that's the name of the show. The Bad Bunny, entrance into the WWE was really interesting because he wasn't a big part of the show. Last night, big part of the show. Kind of carried the show a little bit, obviously, with what they are doing as far as gaining interest in Puerto Rico and things of that sort. So, but do you as a youngster, I don't know who Bad Bunny is outside the wrestling ring, so I don't know anything about his music. I know he's global, and obviously the fans last night, know who that man is. So that being said, do you want to see more of Bad Bunny in the wrestling ring, or just occasionally like we see him, in the big pay-per-views?
Yeah, I think he fits good on the big pay-per-views because, you just if people like his music, they're going to be like, oh, well, you know what? Like, I can see this guy wrestle in person. I already like him as an artist. That's one of the ways WWE could bring in more fans. If they don't have a sold-out pay-per-view, because they'll announce it a couple weeks in ahead. You can start buying your tickets. If it doesn't work, you randomly bring back Bad Bunny, and the rest of those seats just go out like that. That's a big way to do it. And the thing with this pay-per-view is, to me, it wasn't that big of a pay-per-view. Sorry, a premium live event.
Yes.
It wasn't that great to me, honestly. Here, going over the matches here. Okay, so I'm so glad because as soon as I turned on the TV, because I had been out late, so
right.
The end of the Seth Rollins and Omos match just happened. I'm so glad I didn't have to see that match because I don't care for Omos. I'm glad they actually let Seth win.
Mm-hmm.
Because Omos, just at this point, I don't even know if he should be stripped down to NXT. At this point, just let him go down to the Indies. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, that was a good match. The pop, and considering the amount of fans that were there, there were only 17,000.
It's way close to 18,000,
Yeah.
17,960 something. So close
Yeah.
to
So
close to
from 18,000 people, you don't usually hear a pop like that loud. That sounded like at least a 30,000 people pop. You know,
yeah.
kind of like
For
kind of like
WrestleMania pop.
yeah, WrestleMania pop. No, from what I've seen from the Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar, I said Brock Lesnar. Wow, Brock Lesnar match. That was it was a good match. It was. The championship, the United States Championship match. I would have liked to see it go on a little longer. I don't know if I was the only one that felt like this, but the match was really short.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a championship match length. It was definitely one of the shorter matches on the card. And that's something that I kind of find hard to believe, considering you have Bronson Reed, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory. You have three different guys here, right? You have Bronson Reed, who's trying to still make a name for himself, brought up from NXT not too long ago. You have the veteran Bobby Lashley, and then you have the little more experienced than Bronson Reed and Austin Theory, which they're obviously trying to give him a push. And, eventually he's going to have to drop that title. He's going to have to drop it. And I don't know who it's going to be to. But
what channel is he on? Is he on the SmackDown or is he on Raw?
Oh, I thought SmackDown.
Huh?
He got drafted to SmackDown.
Oh, he's SmackDown.
So
I would have said he might have had a chance to win that title. I think they're going to keep it a Raw person to win the thing.
Yeah,
I would think, right?
Yeah, definitely. And one thing,
but here's the thing: if Gunther's going to Raw, which he is with Imperium, then SmackDown's going to get the U.S. champion, whoever that is.
Yeah, that's another thing. The SmackDown Women's Champion, both of them now. Yeah, they got to do that
title swap.
I hate the. I just hate the. I just hate the fact they just traded and. I don't know.
I said this on my show, and I'll get y'all's opinion about this. They should do a WWE draft, but they should only include NXT guys. Have Raw or SmackDown draft those guys in there. And you only have 10. You have a whole locker room, but you only draft 10. You have 5 rounds, and you can if your tag teams are one thing, but I mean you can always bring in who's going to be your number one pick for Raw or SmackDown. Or, God forbid, have a third show. Because if you have a third show, then you're not just trading shows, you're actually flipping formats at that point.
I get it. I don't know if I like it, but I get it, and it makes sense. But man, another show. I mean, as it is. Well, I mean, so I'm going to tell you right now, NXT usually comes in second place each and every week, which tells you one of those brands better start picking it up, because I find myself enjoying more of the NXT than I do either one of the shows that week, because they don't always fully deliver better than NXT can.
What they could do is, I mean, they have the resources to do it. They can put a WWE program, a WWE brand on the network. So you have one on the network, one USA, one on Fox, and you can go that way. Of course, NXT. And if NXT is your developmental company, which Triple H said when the question was asked to him, what do you think about AEW beating NXT? He's like, great, they'd be a developmental league.
Right.
Fine. If it's developmental, then let it be your college football of wrestling. Let them, groom their guys there. And I say do that in seasons. So in case you want to draft someone who was currently a champion, they no longer have the championship. I mean, there's ways you can do it, because WWE doesn't always have to do the wrestling thing.
That's true.
With their thing, and they are entertainment, right? So, they can do different things to chase their audience, or chase a different type of audience.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because you just seen it last night. By the way, I mean, why they wouldn't go back to Puerto Rico fairly quickly? Within a year, maybe 2, it'd be stupid for them not to, especially if they want to promote the Latino wrestlers and the luchadors and things of that sort.
I can see SummerSlam going there eventually, because I know SummerSlam is going to be in London this year. So, I mean, I can see it going to Puerto Rico or Survivor
That kind of confuses me. London and SummerSlam, London just doesn't seem like a place for SummerSlam, you know?
Why not?
Whenever you think,
Why not beaches, pretty women? What's not there to say about SummerSlam in Puerto Rico?
Well, in Puerto Rico, I was going to say, if you're saying beaches and pretty women in England, I'd be going, what part of England have you been in?
I mean, to me that's a mess, but yeah.
They really should just like keep it out of like out of places that aren't known for beaches. Like put it in like LA or something. Rent out SoFi again. Well, maybe not SoFi. You don't need a place like SoFi again.
Too big.
Too big for a paper. See, here's the thing. Like sometimes you have pay-per-views like last night, Backlash, right? That's not the biggest pay-per-view ever, but you don't have to rent out like for WrestleMania. Yeah, you could rent out SoFi, but like if you were to go and rent out SoFi for SummerSlam, that's just too much for not a WrestleMania pay-per-view. Now, I'm not saying SummerSlam is the worst pay-per-view. Like I personally, it's one of my favorite pay-per-views. Clash of Champions is pretty good too, and the thing of them going back and forth to Saudi Arabia almost every year. You know, they're trying to bring in more fans, and clearly it's not working out too much.
It's a money grab, though. It's a money grab. That's all it is.
What's the money grab? I'm sorry, my thing was popping up.
Going to Saudi Arabia is a money grab.
Oh well, listen. The money grab also pays for all the things that you want to see. So you have to go to Saudi Arabia for the money grab to continue seeing pyros. I mean, listen, I don't know if you heard about it. I read an article. They want to cut $50 million out of the revenue for WWE, and they got to cut it someplace. But you got to go get the money if you're going to be able to continue doing the shows and such a high level that they are doing them. Listen, WrestleMania was outstanding. You can say whatever you want about Backlash. That was a damn good program compared to what I thought it was going to be, especially if I listened to the show with Trey Mack the 2 nights before, where they say, "Oh, no one cares about Backlash." I actually thought myself, I was in it.
The funny thing is, I'm in our group chat. We're all talking. A lot of them have watched already. They're not talking bad about it at all. I mean, they're not. No, I mean, they're really. I mean, not everything was a hit, but definitely, it's and this is what I've been saying ever since Triple H took over creative of that show. The programs have gotten better. Now, maybe not every
there's no question
better, but definitely the pay-per-views have at least meant something. Or the premium live. I'm just like, see, the premium live events mean something. So you know.
Why do they call it premium live events? Is it because it wants a Peacock and like streaming services?
Because there are many bars out there that will pay just for that thing, and they'll pop $60, $70 just for that, which I don't understand why they just wouldn't get a Peacock thing. But it's all about revenue and how the revenue is done. You know, you can't really be having those at bars. For the $9.95 you pay for it.
Well, at the end of the day, you're still paying to see it with Peacock. But it's not a $50 or $60 event, which I fear they'll go back to that here eventually.
Oh God, yeah, I remember those days.
I hope they don't, but I mean, because I don't think you can, because
we're spoiled. As fans, we're spoiled now. We can see it all for $10.
So you should just learn how to, and this is where, unfortunately, this is why they got to go to Saudi Arabia sometimes to generate that money they weren't getting from pay-per-view dollars.
And that could have been a trade-off too. But interestingly enough, I don't know if you guys are noticing. I mean, why are they editing those wrestling matches on Peacock? I don't get it. I mean, listen, they got they got the movies, they got some shows that are cursing through the whole thing, and they're cutting out spots in wrestling. I'm missing something. I mean, this is the entertainment portion of it. Why are they editing them out, Mac?
Well,
maybe I'm missing something.
Probably because they don't feel that Roddy Piper being half black-faced, half white-faced in his match with Bad News Brown was a big thing to go. Like, Blazing Saddles probably wouldn't go over today in the theaters as it did back in the day.
No, it wouldn't, but you see him on HBO. You see him on the other premium channels, uncut version. I mean, if you want to do that, Tarantino's got some bad stuff out there, too.
But Sonny, HBO doesn't have to answer to advertisers. WWE does.
Well, yeah. I hate the sponsorship because it does change things. I mean, I don't know. I just and yeah. Now that's an extreme, but they're bleeping out cursing and stuff every once in a while. Depending, just like, dude, just play. We're not all that stupid. Z's not that dumb, and he's what? How are you? 13 now, Z? Just
yeah,
turned 13.
13. Yeah.
By the way, how was your birthday? I just noticed this. I was scrolling through your thing. Your birthday was a couple of weeks ago.
No, I just don't have I just put a fake birthday on there. Why not? I don't. My birthday's actually in March.
I mean, hey, I had a real birthday. I don't know. You want to mention that one to me? Really?
What?
I mean, it's on
No,
420.
I just.
Still.
Listen, Trey. We're not gonna talk about that one, all right? That was just
Good Lord.
Hey,
I can't take this guy anywhere. I swear to God.
For real.
Did Barrett Brown come on the show?
Okay, you know what? Barrett Brown coming on was cool, but
Yeah, I
mean,
I had quite a few.
How much did you have to pay him to come onto your show?
yeah, you know what? That's a
Nothing at
good
all.
question, Sonny.
I didn't pay anybody. No,
Hey, I'm a journalist.
What happened was my buddy Michael McCurdy reached out to a few people that have been on the show, Justin James, Barrett Brown, and a few other people. Said, hey, it's Trey's birthday. You want to pop on? So they popped on for a second and did their thing, and that was it.
That's cool. Listen, listen. I haven't really had an experience with him per se. I met him. I mean, but never really spent a lot of time with him. But they love the guy, and it's because he's a teacher. So
speaking of teachers and speaking of people that are great at wrestling shows, guess who's coming to SoarMania 3?
Well, I know who's coming to SoarMania.
Okay.
Who?
Because I made the videos.
Okay. Former WCCW referee and Texas legend James Beard is coming to referee
I did not know that
at SoarMania 3.
Well,
I did not know that.
I mean, why don't y'all just go to Texoma Pro? He runs the whole thing at Texoma.
That's fine. He can do that there, but he's coming to SoarMania 3. I'm saying to get him to come to Soar is a big thing.
Oh, yeah, for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, he can be elsewhere. I mean, it's his business. But once again, to have people come into Soar and work with the young kids there and be kind of help push them in the right direction.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that. So, I mean, whereas at Texoma Pro Wrestling, he's got more established stars that are there and people who are training with Booker T and everybody else down south, and he's got Tim Storm there. So clearly, he has his niche there in Texoma. This is a new area. This is like when we brought in Nikita Koloff at.
I remember that. I remember when y'all brought in Koloff.
So I mean, I remember going up to him too, and I was like saying, dude, we so missed that opportunity back in the '80s to watch you and Hogan go at it because you guys were in two different brands at the time. But to have Hulk Hogan, Nikita Koloff for a USA versus Russia type thing in the '80s, it was so badass. He's like, yeah, that'd been really cool if that happened, but wasn't meant to be. But
I liked him. I spoke with him for a little bit while they were over there, and it's really amazing because you only see the personas in front of you. I mean, really, the personas are really overwhelming, because what you see on TV. And then you sit down and you speak to Sean Hernandez, and first of all, you realize he's not as tall as they make him on TV. It's that part I found amazing in itself. But then Sean Hernandez, the nicest dude. We sat there and talked to him for like 2.5 hours that day. It's just what a dude, what a guy.
It took so much for me to not mention the fact that Brent McKenzie knocked him out in the locker room years ago. It took so much for me to not want to, because that went viral for a while. So,
I got it. Since we're on wrestling, we'll get to sports soon because we might get Cuervo on. We might get him on a little bit. So we'll hold on. But interestingly enough, when you go back and you think about some of the things that have happened back in the days, okay, and then guys who were just killing it, whether it was on TNA and then they make their way over to WWE, then they get 2 months or maybe 3 months of, main focus, then they go away. What is going on with Bobby Roode?
So
Well, what's your question again?
What's going on with Bobby Roode? I mean, he's not hurt. I mean, why are they not utilizing Bobby Roode? I mean, this is a miss, at least in my opinion.
Okay.
When I'm sitting there watching, I'd love to see this guy come out, but they do need to make him heel. They can't make him, baby face.
Where do you put him?
Bobby Roode needs to be heel, and I miss him. I miss him on TV. Maybe that's it.
Where do you put him?
I don't know.
SmackDown?
They're on a spot. I mean, they're making a spot for LA Knight, for God's sake.
Oh, LA Knight's got something.
yeah, I agree. I agree with Trey there.
So what? It's moved past him.
Now see, LA Knight can pop the crowd. Bobby
Yeah.
Roode couldn't. Bobby Roode's theme song popped the crowd. That was it.
No.
It's true. I mean, everybody loved the theme song when he got in the ring. It's the old saying. Then the bell rang.
Wait! Did you watch him in the It Factor when he was going through the It Factor on the TNA? I'm telling you right now, they were the better wrestler at that time.
Okay, but he didn't. He's not fitting WWE's creative. That's the thing.
Well,
I think that
might be creative as well.
You don't fit their creative. They're gonna use for you. It don't matter how creative you think you are. If they don't have it, if they don't see it, they don't use you. That's just the bottom line. I mean, you can't make everybody stars. You can't make everybody stars. AJ Styles was an established star coming in. He stayed an established star coming in. Now, he's also AJ Styles. AJ Styles is a way better entertainer than Bobby Roode.
I agree. I just see. You know who he reminds me of? You go back and you think about wrestlers and Bobby Roode and what he can do if he gets the opportunity. Okay, so let me just kind of throw that one in there. He reminds. I hate to say it because he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of my favorite, on the Mount Rushmore. He reminds me of the same named guy, but different spelling. He reminds me of Ravishing Rick Rude when he can get that camera time and they make him a focus. The problem is they're not making him a focus. And the question is it seems like, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't been in front of the camera enough in order to develop that focus, in order to keep him in that front.
Rude generated heat. Bobby Roode hadn't done that yet.
Well, that's true. I'll give you that because every time, listen, when you got someone's wife's on your tights, okay, listen, that brings heat more than what you want to talk about the best heat generating that might have been the most slap in your face kind of heat generating that you're ever going to get, especially against the Ultimate Warrior's wife. So that was
no, it was Jake Roberts' wife.
Jake Snake Roberts. So that's
Look, kudos to Bobby Roode. I think Bobby Roode will be a huge impact at NWA. I think bringing him in there because he's got the Ric Flair strut. He's got everything that Ric Flair could be. And then you're talking about NWA traditional wrestling. He'd be a great.
Wait.
Now, could they pay him? I don't know.
Those are studio shows.
Huh?
You know how many times WWE has cut people?
Sure.
Over the past couple of years, there's been hundreds of cuts. One person that hasn't been used, that hasn't been cut yet, is Robert Roode. They're not cutting him for a reason. They want to keep him for a reason, but they just don't know where to put him yet. Really, give him a mid-card title at this point. If you're going to keep him around for this long without cutting him, and you're just not using him, give him the U.S. title for a couple.
I'll be willing to bet you guys he's working to become an agent. That's why he's staying there because he could be
that's what I was thinking.
Because he knows.
Well, he's been wrestling for 20 years. I mean, God,
Yeah, so I think the fact that you make him an agent, put him down with Shawn Michaels at NXT and help him work with the young guys down there, and help them because once again I think that's where they might find a better use for him there than actually in front of the camera.
Yeah, I want to see him on the camera. I don't see him enough, and that's the part. I mean, because dude, I'll sit back. I got it. I'll watch the old TNAs. I got their subscriptions, $5 or something. I go and
TV and watch it.
Huh?
Just go to Pluto TV. They got their own channel.
Oh yeah, but Pluto TV has 9,000 commercials in it. That's enough. Listen, No,
Can't do a
I know
commercial
that.
for
I know
1.5.
the business model of Pluto. I used to work for them, so I know it's horrible. But that being said, I'd much rather. I sit back there and watch what he did with James Storm, which, by the way, I haven't figured out why he wasn't good enough for the call up. But sometimes there's
I don't think he
personality
wants to
conflicts
travel
I
as
don't
much.
know about.
I don't think he wants to travel as much.
I think it's interestingly enough, because if you go back 5 years, the about the 3 years before COVID, if you remember about it, Finn Balor was down in NXT. The reason why he was in NXT, he don't mind being on TV, but he don't want to travel. He didn't have to travel being in NXT. 3 years, that's all he did was NXT. And then after COVID, you had to bring the guys, to bring asses, put asses in seat. It was perfect. So after COVID, they brought him back. Now he's on a regular traveling schedule, which I don't know if he likes or if not, but he used to love that NXT job.
And you just said it yourself. Asses to seats, right?
Yep.
Does Bobby Roode bring asses to seats?
How are you going to do it if you don't
does
see
James
it?
Storm bring asses to seats? No, I mean, if you put him on the roster right now, will that move the needle?
Well, that just depends on what you want to watch.
Yeah, I agree with Saida. And depending on where they put him, like I said, give him a mid-card title, put him up against, I don't know, maybe here's one way you could start something, put him in a rivalry with Austin Theory. You got the new generation versus the old generation. You get
God. I feel bad. He's already calling Bobby Roode the old generation. Just makes me sad.
No, it's just no. You gotta.
Well, he is. I get it. I'm laughing because it's realization. You're right, and I'm like, I'm sitting here talking like Bobby Roode, like he should be at WrestleMania. So it's just like I get it.
Maybe not. I mean, put him. If they were actually using him and they give him a mid-card title, Backlash would have been a perfect pay-per-view last night. You know why? I mean, because you don't want to put him on WrestleMania yet, right?
Okay, first of all, Z, your mid-card titles are U.S. title and Intercontinental title.
Right.
There's no 24/7 title anymore, thank God.
Right.
Thank God.
There's no European title. That's been rolling for over 20 years. So what mid-card title can you put around?
Yeah.
US title.
Okay, so he beats Austin Theory.
Yeah.
What happens to Austin Theory?
They put him.
We got to make him go back and win it. Yeah.
They put him back in a rivalry.
It's not a show. You got to create a program. I mean, and it's got to be something that's going to last about 6 or 7 months in order for it to regurgitate itself back at WrestleMania.
Listen, I'm playing devil's advocate here, okay? Austin Theory has been in the ring with current stars: Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed,
John Cena.
John Cena, Seth Rollins.
That was a joke.
I know, but Seth Rollins he's been in the ring with.
Yeah.
He's now you throw in Bobby Roode. It's almost like one of these seasons is not like the other.
Well, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying I miss Bobby
So if you're going to build,
I want to see him.
If you're going to build up a young talent, you don't throw him back in the past. Now you did that with Cena.
They did it with Austin Theory. I mean, didn't you just watch WrestleMania?
But John Cena was his idol. Okay.
Well, okay,
all right. For him, so good for him.
All right.
And I don't know why. I remember watching it, and he walked out in front of that large of a crowd.
Oh, I remember
that night.
I've seen those pictures. I didn't know him. Yeah, I didn't know him, but I know he was around here quite a bit. So
yeah, he was VIP a lot. So
yeah, so. But that being said, all right, we're moved past the top of the hour, so I got to take care of a little business. And I need some more coffee. So we need to do that. Z, we're losing you, right? You're about ready to head out?
Yeah, I got to head out just about right now.
All right, cool. All right. Yeah, so, enjoy the game. I wish I was going, but, I'm tired. I need Sunday. Sunday is fully rest except for me doing this show so I can get ready for my week. You have yourself a good week. We'll talk to you next week. We might not be doing a show. It's Mother's Day next week, so we might not be doing a show. So that just depends on what's going on. So, all right, so we'll do that. We're going to take the quick break here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. When we come back, there's more to talk about that, and we'll also get that. Again, we might get Cuervo. I don't know. We'll try to find out and try to pull him back in here. So that being said, we'll take the quick break. We'll be right back here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. And that being said, Z, have a good day. Later, guys.
You
We'll
too.
be right back.
Thanks.
At Wesson General Contracting Incorporated, we're your one-stop shop for all your general contracting needs. We are locally owned and with over 20 years of experience, so roofing, gutters, sidings, fence staining, painting, foundation problems, or roof damage are no problems at all. Give us a call at 214-200-5588. That's 214-200-5588. Wesson General Contractors.
The prospect of retirement can be exciting and scary at the same time. At Nest Egg Wealth Advisors, we have found many people either approaching or currently in retirement fail to truly maximize some of the benefits offered to them, primarily Social Security. What is it? How does it work? It's simply not a benefit that you start receiving at age 62. Because these decisions are so important, my firm has assembled an informational packet on Social Security. If you would like a complimentary copy of Social Security Maximization, please give our office a call today at 972-412-6064 or visit us on the web at nesteggadvice.com. At the Jerry Bullet Training Center, we are a motivated team of coaches with the mindset of helping you achieve and reach your highest goals. Having developed and trained over 100 Division I athletes as well as Division II athletes, even professional athletes, the Bullet team definitely has the knowledge and mindset to take you to the next level. Check out our new 22,000 square foot facility and 3,000 square foot weight room, along with 4,500 square feet of outdoor turf and covered training area, along with football and soccer fields. Contact Melvin Bullitt at 214-326-7853 or visit their facility just outside of Waterview at 8900 Princeton Road in Rowlett.
Being taken for a ride? Check out Costo Insurance, serving Texans since 1981. Bundle your home, auto, or business insurance and save a ton. Costo Insurance on the corner of Main Street and Rowlett Road, where we make insurance fun. Or check us out on the web at CostoInsurance.com, where we always have the coffee pot on. Yeah, but is it fresh?
There is nothing that beats good home-cooked barbecue. Since 1941, Dickey's Barbecue has done all the cooking and you take all the credit. Come see us today at our Rowlett location, 5701 President George Bush Turnpike, Suite 110 in the Target Shopping Center. Whether you want to eat in or take it home, we will fix you up. For lip-smacking, rib-tickling, knee-slapping, foot-stomping, great-tasting barbecue, come see us at Dickey's Barbecue today.
Here at Fit Body Boot Camp, located in Saxe, the solution is here. Fast, long-lasting weight loss results and the healthy lifestyle you need to keep them. The key to your fat loss success is our signature afterburn workouts, as well as support and motivation from our world-class coaches, and an easy-to-follow nutrition program to help you keep the fat off. Visit your local Fit Body Boot Camp in Saxe today to see the difference for yourself, or give us a call at 214-463-3005. That's 214-463-3005. Fit Body Boot Camp, Saxe. Saxe Ice House is a non-smoking craft beer and beer pub located in the heart of Saxe. The Ice House was opened to provide a friendly, clean, and female-friendly environment. Saxe was lacking a place for service industry, date nights, and girls' nights, as well as happy hours. Excellent service and top-notch food are our priority. On Tuesday, we offer 79-cent wings, as well as half-price burgers on Mondays. So check us out at the Ice House, located at 6501 Highway 78 in Saxe, or give us a call at 469-304-1550, or check us out on the web at SaxeIcehouse.com. Go Mustangs! Ever want to know why Bill and I look so great on our broadcast? Check out K West Designs on Facebook to find out why. Check out all the samples that Kelly has up so you can see, especially if you have a special occasion that needs something original or design or something that says, this is our moment. Check out K West Designs on Facebook or give Kelly a call at 469-601-5856.
That's 469-601-5856. K West Designs. Rich's Performance Muffler and Auto Care has provided complete auto repair services to the Wiley area since 2003. Whether it's alignments, brakes, air conditioning, muffler service, suspension, front-end auto services, or in my case, a Cadillac converter, Rich does it all. Stop by and see him at 603 Commerce Street, Suite 203 in Wiley, or give him a call at 972-461-0776. That's 972-461-0776. You'll be happy you called Rich instead of anybody else.
Welcome to the Potato Sports Show. It is me, Sonny Clark, the hardest working man in sports radio, along with the Podfather, who looks like he just got up from a very late night.
Where's that?
Hey, man, sometimes it's a little rough. You're a little rough.
It's all good, man.
Hey, man, I'm all right. Good to see
The network is riding high, and we are excited for Sword Mania 3. Comes up on June 3rd.
Oh, yeah, big night.
And
big night.
Saturday at the Dallas Elks Lodge. We got big names coming out there to come be a part of our show. I'm excited. Just real quickly, for those who watch Offshoots TV from here, there will not be a show this Thursday. I got family things I have to take care of, so not sure.
I can't use you as white noise, I guess, right?
I'm sorry. Well, go watch the repeat. But they're on there. So anyway, we might do something later in the week, though. We're not sure yet, so it just depends what we have time for or not. Because once again, getting everybody together for one thing is kind of hard sometimes. So.
Sure. Well,
as you know, because you're missing most of your crew here, so that's why you bring.
Well, yeah, I expect that in the off season where they're not always here. But that being said, of course, that's the name of the show. We, depending on the situation, how it would work. I don't know if if it's something that is weekly. I mean, do you think you could do it weekly or
what?
Something like that?
Huh? Your show?
Oh yeah. I mean,
kind of like how I've been doing it lately. How if I'm available, I'll do it. If I'm out of pocket, then clearly I just can't do it. I mean, it's and right now I've been down in Aubrey on the weekends helping my daughter learn how to drive. And
I've seen that. I've seen some of the pictures of that.
And spending some quality time with my son, and while my wife is sleeping. So, of course, quality time with me and him is him on the computer and me talking to you. So there you go. But
just goes to show you don't have much of a life outside of what you just talked about.
Well, I mean, besides the work and wrestling, I mean that's pretty much all I do.
Well, I was talking about Bobby Roode, and that's just because when they brought him in, I love the fact they had him there for a while. Who are some of the guys that you're missing? I mean, that you thought would have been able to come up there and kick it, and then we'd never see him again. Who are some of the guys you think?
I did a greatest intercontinental champion tournament on my group page. I had all 89 of them. And there's about clearly those have won the title more than once, but there have been 89 champions as a champion. It came down to two people. Can you guess who they were?
Well, let me see here. I voted for Eddie Guerrero. I know Eddie Guerrero was one. And who was the other one? Who is the one?
Michaels.
I have to admit, I don't think of Shawn Michaels as an intercontinental champion, so that's probably the reason why not too many people picked him to be the greatest, I would think.
But he got all the way down to the final, so he got down to those two people. So who would you pick, Eddie Guerrero or Shawn Michaels? And you think about the matchup that could have been, and how it's a miss. Once again, wrestling it's got its hits and misses, right? I think AJ Styles and Shawn Michaels could have had a hellacious match at some time. I think Undertaker and Sting was a missed opportunity. I think, I mean, just for the inches alone, I think that'd have been really awesome. You know, Hogan and Austin missed out on their opportunity. And that's health reasons, scheduling, and who was going to go over. I mean, it just came down to it just didn't fit. You know, so I mean, there's so many missed. As far as what currently the people want to see on the roster, you know what? I know you're not a fan of his, but you cannot tell me he is not, if not one of the biggest heels in the company. I want to see if they're going to do a Dominic Mysterio. I think.
No. You're misinterpreting what I'm saying. There is no question he's the biggest heel in the WWE, and he should continue what he's doing.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I'm talking about just his wrestling ability. I know. I'm not supposed to really worry about that, but when you come from a background of Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, you need to be, Chavo Guerrero. You need to be, need to be somewhat fluid into what you do. I think the fact that he's not a good wrestler helps him on the heel side, but sooner or later he just has to get better. I don't dislike it. In fact, I love his persona, what he's doing right now. I do. I love exactly what he's doing. But if he's ever going to be a quote unquote wrestler, I think he needs to learn the spots a little bit better. It's just me. I'm not getting paid by the WWE. He is, but at the same time, when you bring that much heat, the way that he's bringing it, he deserves his money. I get it, but I just want to see him a better wrestler.
I got you. But as far as like people currently on the roster that need to have, I mean, LA Knight probably would be one of them.
I like him. But he's growing on me.
But the problem with LA Knight though is his age. That's going to be a factor because you have.
How old is he? Like 35, 36?
He's 39. He's 39.
Well, first of all, I didn't know he was that age. Second of all, what hurt him coming in, being part of that male model stupid thing.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Never. Well, that had Vince McMahon written all over.
Yeah, that's just crazy. That's creative gone wrong, and that happens. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
Remember, Kane wasn't always Kane. He was a fake Diesel at one time. He was a dentist at one time. I mean, clearly, creative doesn't always hit home runs.
Yeah. And by the way, they still got the male models, but they're by themselves without the leader. I just saw them on that list.
It works better for them now.
I don't know. I haven't seen them on TV, so I don't know. So maybe have they been on TV in the last couple of months?
Well, the funny thing is how they've taken Otis and made him kind of, part in a way an offshoot version of the male models, and now he's Otis. So I just love that.
Otis, is he part of the male models now?
He has their manager with him. I guess. And I mean, once again, it's brilliant because I think Chad Gable is one of the best workers they've got right now, and
without question.
And the fact that him and when Otis puts that face on, that really pissed off face, you know who he reminds me of? Dude, I don't remember the guy's name, but he played the villain in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh yeah, I can't remember his name either, but I know who you're talking about.
And he's also in Teen Wolf. I mean, and the funny thing is, I had a friend named Chris Hall who looked just like that guy, and when I see that face, I'm like, it's Chris. So it's funny though. It's funny.
Yeah. So but that being said, guys that came up that you thought would hit, based up on their momentum.
All right.
Who came up based on them, and we just
a
loss out of them. They're quite a few.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Let's kind of go back a little bit of ways to think about. I mean,
well, we'll save that to give you time to think about it.
Yeah.
But the biggest question out of the draft, okay, that happened, came, gone. I had the pictures, but I didn't upload them. I was lazy. But Braun Breaker, is that what the
Braun Breaker.
Steiner kid?
Oh yeah.
Steiner kid.
He's not ready.
No call up. Interestingly enough, no call up.
He's not ready.
Really?
No, because
And those girls were.
don't worry.
Listen, I watched. Listen, I watched the show. I watched the NXT show. Braun
You're not
Baker was ready more so than those girls
Okay.
and that other
Okay.
dude they picked.
You can bring the girls up and do more with them than you can with Braun Breaker.
Well, that's true. I get that. I that part that makes sense. I get because all those women, most of those women went to SmackDown, so they got a lot of women over on the SmackDown
Right.
side.
Do you want to bring Braun Breaker up there and let him become Bobby Roode?
Well, that's true.
Because
You're losing it. I mean, how much longer is he going to stay down there before they decide to pull the trigger up on him?
Now he has a heel turn, right? So
Well, he needs to.
I mean, he's going through it right now. So clearly he needs.
Now that said, I haven't watched it in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
so
after-
if he's had a turn within 3, I haven't caught that yet.
After he lost the title, he turned heel. So
Good.
let's see. So let's see what he can do first, because you have to develop a personality, both good and bad, to see what's going to be beneficial for the main product.
I get it.
What can work. So you know what, Braun will have his time. Okay, as Bobby told us last night to a lot of the new kids that are sitting there wanting to know if they get a chance to wrestle on this show or not tonight. He's like, your time will come, and his time. That's all it is. It ain't now. It may not be tomorrow, but it'll happen. I mean, if they are fully invested in him, which I think they are, their biggest issue is the name. Why is he not a Steiner? I mean, I've heard Omega say it on my show. I've heard a lot of the guys on my show say that, and
I know why.
I mean, I get it. I get why he's not, but
they don't want him. They really don't want him associated with the Steiners because of one of my favorite wrestlers. What he did.
They had no problem bringing those two boys out and putting them in the Hall of Fame.
Well, they had no problem doing that 2 years after Big Papa Pump decided to make a fool with himself 2 years before that, causing all kinds of problems that he did. But it took 2 years for him to figure out. They were on the cusp the 2 years before that to be coming in there. But the problem is that this kept flapping, and that's the reason why he wasn't there.
Sonny, we have just celebrated the anniversary of the day that Scott Steiner taught his math.
I know. Okay? Which, by the way, was one of the funniest moments in it. Listen, there are certain moments that you always have your big moments. These aren't big moments, but there are certain moments in wrestling that stick out to you. That is one of them, without question. And the other one is Jay Lethal as Ric Flair. They obviously don't hit the edge hit or edge hitting Hardy, on those ladders. It's not that level, but things that are memorable. One of them is Scott Steiner doing the math.
You mentioned earlier who's a guy that you think WWE's missed out on or whatnot. Jay Lethal.
Oh yeah,
I think Jay. I mean, once again, he could have been the Macho Man. He could have been Ric Flair. He could have been all that stuff, And God knows, I know Flair loved him to death. So I mean, he's one of his favorite guys. I think. Once again, not everybody's going to hit. I mean, Sting wasn't a hit. Okay.
Right.
I mean, but then what were you willing to do with Sting? You already buried WCW, so what was Sting going to do for WWE? Especially at that advanced age. You're getting beat over there.
The thing that I think I need, as far as that is concerned, I think they really did need Sting to beat Triple H when they did that in wrestling. Let me just step back. I think they should have, because first of all, there's no better guy to get somebody over than Triple H. And there's no better guy to get somebody over in big moments, pay-per-views, than Triple H. He's good at it.
But you know
I
what
mean,
though? When Sting comes out and says, "I don't care if I lost for one," then I don't care. Then I mean,
do you believe him?
yeah, because you know what? At WrestleMania, you got to see the NWO and DX go at it.
Yeah.
You got to
I,
see those. You got to see those worlds. You saw worlds collide with one or the other, and at the end of the day, it's still Vince's product, right? WWE is going to come out victorious. That's just how it is. You
I know.
know,
And one of these,
and I think
just want
you,
to see
me,
it the other side one
right?
time,
Yeah.
and it's just
I mean,
like you said, it's not gonna
and
happen.
I got news for you. If roles were reversed, and if Ted Turner and Eric Bischoff were still running WCW, and if WWE stars had come in there, guess what would have happened? The same thing. So trust me, we got what we got because it's who's running the show. Okay,
Well,
but
you know,
at the end of the day, it was a decent match. It wasn't a great match. It was a decent match. Yes, you had the WrestleMania moment of DX and NWO coming out, Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash and the late great Scott Hall coming out to the ring. I mean, those are moments we can't get back anymore. So the
right?
fact that we got to
Especially-
have that with Sting being a part of it, and plus Sting got a WrestleMania match. At the end of the day, it didn't matter if he won or lost. He got a WrestleMania match. You know, he
Yeah.
was a WCW mainstay. So was Flair. Hey, Ric Flair doesn't have the greatest WrestleMania record either.
Oh no, well, no. Let's be honest. Ric Flair was better over in the WCW days
Right.
and the
Well, so was
NWA
Sting.
long before.
Well,
I mean,
so was Sting.
his career within the WWE was a C at best.
Right.
A B C D. It was a C
well,
at best.
Well, here's the thing. The idea of Flair coming to WWE at the time was to have Hogan Flair WrestleMania 8. Well,
Yeah.
steroid scandals and needing people to go away for a moment, and whatever else kind of took the place of that, didn't it? So,
Yeah.
I mean, you still got a hell of a match with Flair and Savage, and the storyline that built up with the Miss Elizabeth thing that was really awesome back in the day. Now does this
Back in the day, yes.
Yeah.
But that was over. That was over in TNA. I mean, or TBS or wherever.
No, it was WCW first, and then it was WWE first, and then when they went to WCW, they kind of played off that again. So.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I like the storyline of Miss Elizabeth and Ric Flair and all those guys together going up against Macho. I thought that was good writing, but a good writing. Just because I just want to kind of let everybody know, just because I don't like what some of the writing, it doesn't mean that it wasn't good. Because even though it didn't go the way I would, doesn't mean I think it was bad writing. However, I think
but you are the person that also then go, if it doesn't go my way, I don't give a damn. It sucks.
It's my show.
This is my world. I live in it. And this is how it is.
Right.
The thing is, you don't look at the other side of the coin that much. So that's just how.
No, because now that being said, I think it was I don't know if it was you who mentioned it, but you talk about where Bobby Roode could be. I don't want to see him in a studio show. And just to put it, I don't watch Impact anymore. That studio show is just killing me.
Impact anymore. Hey, MLW has opportunities for him. But I think they're going a lot younger though. But I mean, MLW's got a show on Reels right now, and I mean they have TV coverage. And let's face it, I mean Court Bauer, who runs the company, he's worked for WWE back in the day. So,
well,
clearly,
you know what they do though, and they just ran out to this place in North Richland Hills. A couple years back, they ran a show there, and it was a live crowd. Listen, I'm not into the studios. Listen, it was hard enough to watch AEW Dark, okay, but I watched it because our guys were there, people we knew, and everything else. But that being said, of course, that's the name of this show. What they're doing over in MLW, I think is really good.
Hey, I'm sure you turned it on. Went to all the many pictures you've taken with Dante Small and go, look, I'm with this guy. He's on TV. I'm so excited. And you see the look, I got pictures of him too. And here's me and him.
No. The one I'm more excited about is Rochelle. I'm in love with her. I even said it. I'm in love with Rochelle. Roxanne Rochelle. I love her. The bougie.
I got something to talk to you off air about on her, but. I mean, granted, she's a very gifted athlete, and she has the net factor. But once again, she has a net factor for what we saw.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we saw what they're seeing might be two different things. So,
By the way, she's got a match coming up with Seabrex at Stormania 3.
well, good luck with that.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
I made the video.
I
So
got news for you.
they're not ready for distribution, but I made the video,
I mean,
so I knew that match.
Listen, we saw how unfair Sor can be when they matched my guy up against Angel Camacho, but still.
Listen, I think I almost think that's perfect.
I'm sure you would think it's perfect. Dude, first of all, the guy almost attacked me. You know, and I did nothing to him.
Well, I'd smack you just for standing around there. And by the way,
you had your opportunity every day, did you?
Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now, I know why he smacked you. He smacked you. You said he smacked you.
No, he was wanting to, but, you know.
Yeah, you want to know? I know why he wants to smack you. What? I'm going to take you back into the day. I know you'll remember this. Is that we were sitting in that bar doing that show.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? And we were doing the commentating, and me and Camacho were having a great time. You blew up us having a good time and started insulting the man, and he hasn't forgot about it. That's the reason why he wants to punch your lights out. So
get along. I mean, really. I mean
I got the video. It comes up in my memory. It comes up in my, how you get the memories and stuff, every day.
Hey,
there it was.
Hey,
he wanted to smack you then.
Hey, you can have Angel Camacho all you want. My resources can reach out to Shane Taylor and bring him on board. And let's face it, what? He almost made you shit your pants. So.
Well, I know that, and that came up my memories. It's the one time I didn't post it because I post it every time it comes up. People are probably sick of it, but it still makes me laugh, I guess. So
right.
But that being said, I don't know. I don't know. Someone might show up at Sormania. This this is June 5th, right? I think it's June 5th.
June 3rd.
June 3rd. I think there's going to be someone show up on there. I don't know. I've heard there's rumors, and I'll let you know more about those rumors a little bit later. But I heard there might be somebody else that that shows up. Not like big name or anything, but I heard someone else might. I'll let you know in weeks to come whether or not that has happening. I know it might be in the works. I don't know. That Sormania is that one night show for one person, come in every once in a while. So
I know.
Austin Aries. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed that one.
And it was too bad our commentary got cut because you decided to bleep out everything I said, and we had to hear you talk more than anything.
Listen, I shouldn't have to set up freaking audio. I should just put the headphones
You're
on.
the play-by-play guy. Why should I have to do it? I'm the color.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I'm the greatest one ever. I'm the greatest one. I'll put it this way. Okay, last night, all my matches were done. I look over there and I see this kid sitting at a table all by himself, and he's talking to his phone, doing commentary because we don't have the right setup for him to actually record his voice. So I look over going, what the hell is he doing? And I go over there and I walk up and say, who in the blue hell are you? And he's like, my name is Chico Xavier. And my question was, you shot out and your parents called you Chico, really? But I mean, so I sat there with him and, he's really, 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 really green.
Green?
But I mean,
I'm just really green. He's really, 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 really green.
Really, 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 yeah. But I mean, we made it work a little bit last night for what we had. I got to kind of because I haven't done the color commentary thing in a while.
Sure.
So to step back in there and have someone to play off of because I played off you for a few years, and and God knows there else I played off of. We won't mention his name, but But
I meant, you know what? I know you're talking about Andy, right? Is that who you're talking about?
No. I'm talking about the other promotion.
What?
He's a manager now. He's trying to follow in my footsteps. Do I have to really say his name? Do I have to really say the name Tony Snow? Really?
Yeah,
give him any credibility. He doesn't deserve it.
I didn't know. Oh my God, really?
I had to play off that for so many years. So anyway,
Well, yeah. Well, God, that's almost no. That's not almost pathetic. That is pathetic. That's oh my God. Anyway, where it goes,
hey,
I don't know.
Hey man, this is gonna be a good match to watch. What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks.
I mean, if you want to have two
Thanks.
call a wrestling match, there you go. Hey man, all right. Wow, look at the body slam by Tim Storm. Awesome. All right.
So he is a manager now.
I think he's taking the role.
Did he do that after you started doing it? Is he just following in your footsteps?
I don't know what the time frame is on that, but apparently he has his own thing over Texoma because after Nigel left Texoma Pro Wrestling, they needed a manager, and I guess they went to him because he's got inside friends with. It's funny because his roommate.
Because they all sleep in his garage, right?
Well, I know Malico is his roommate, but Malico's retired. I didn't know that.
Ooh.
Malico.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so I'm like, wow. Well, so I mean, kudos to him for trying to make it on his own. I mean, clearly, it's I mean, when you have no real training, and I don't care what he says, he has no real training. To go in there and do what he's doing, if it works for them, it works for them. Great.
That depends on what your definition of working. Now, obviously for them, okay. Yeah. But listen, I'm not an expert in this, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, I already know you're better, and I haven't seen anything that he has done. So it's just where it's coming from. But
he dresses up like a pimp and goes to the ring. I mean,
like Slick.
Not even like Slick. I mean, at least look at a gimmick. It's always not Slick because the man's a reverend. But the thing is though is that I remember when I was given the opportunity to do the manager thing at SOAR Championship Wrestling, and just the backstage thing here, as far as putting in my creative thing, Bobby's like, you got to be in the suit, you got to be act like you made up money. I've gone from that to now I can wear the shirt that I'm wearing now with the shirt over it. It's a collared shirt, and it's like whatever makes you comfortable, that's fine because what you're doing is working, no problem. I'm like, okay, sure. So I mean, I'm extremely satisfied with the fact that if it all ends today at age 48, I can sit there and say that I finally got to live out my dream. So. And a lot of it was to continue on because I failed as a wrestler completely. Wasn't that great. And you know what? I'm not ashamed to say that either. Because, not everything's a hit.
This is your big not working with me for 3 years was not your biggest moment. Is that what you're saying? Are you trying to hurt my feelings here today?
Well, if it wasn't working with you, I wouldn't have had this opportunity, clearly. So, I mean, one thing led to another. Well, me and Bobby talked a while back, and he was like, man, you've been with me for a long time. I'm like, ever since you got that new kidney, I was with you. And unfortunately, he's lost it now. But I mean, I've been with him since that. I did a sound, did commentary with you. For a moment, it was with Andy. Oh, God, it was with Andy. And I keep trying to forget that part. But
I personally liked him.
I personally like him. I could do without the dad jokes, but that was just me.
And the goat jokes.
Oh my God, man! I remember me and Kevin used to work with him in AWA, and he would dad joke Kevin to death. And Kevin had that look on his face like, "You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls."
But and actually, your departure from SOAR led to me doing this. So, I mean, one thing leads to another, right? So.
My departure came from SOAR. Basically, Bobby was, and we weren't doing shows and stuff like that. And then I filled my time, and stuff like that. So my anybody who, and by the way, there was evidently somebody who said that I had a problem with SOAR Championship Wrestling, and I have zero problem with SOAR Championship Wrestling. So whoever wants to kind of bring that out and about, that's not true. So I
got the emails on how unhappy you are.
Yeah, is that what it is? The emails that I
I'm
sent
not
to
saying it was
you
me who said it.
in
But
your imagination. Okay, got it. All right, cool.
exactly.
No. Sometimes you gotta you look at the situation, which is what we did. The COVID was coming along. Bobby's been sick for a damn year now. So
He was he was in the hospital 9 out of 12 months last year,
yeah, it's like crazy.
and his insurance ran out.
Just like what the hell? I mean, so there's no. I don't know why anybody thinks like that. Just like right now, Sword Championship Wrestling right now is now beginning to get their feet back up on the ground. So I don't have a problem with Sword Champ. So whoever decided to bring that out there, well, it came from the fact that I was not, but it wasn't sore per se. But there was an incident in another promotion that kind of bothered me, and what happened as far as that was concerned, just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, I guess is just the right way. But no problems with Sword Championship Wrestling whatsoever. It's amazing how things get blown out of proportion. As far as what could end up happening. So no, I love Sword Championship Wrestling. I wouldn't have done the videos for Sword Mania if I had a problem with them. I mean, come on, let's get serious, right? It's like, but anyway. But that being said, okay, I'll tell you right now, Bobby looking good. I can't wait to actually see him. I've only seen the pictures, but I can't wait to see him. I mean, he's dropped what, 120 pounds? I mean,
Yeah,
geez Louise.
honestly, he looks great. He still has a feeding tube, but he's or no, I guess not a feeding tube, but it's a bag that his stuff goes through. And I remember I had an uncle that was like that back in the day, and he had that thing for about 10 years. So I mean, clearly this is not a life. It's a life altering situation for Bobby right now, and hopes that
Yeah.
he get better. But once again, I mean, he's talking. He was talking to everybody last night. He rant and rave. You know how the pre-show meetings go, where they rant and rave for about
Sure.
an hour, and they talk about the same things 3 different times. Just to get it clear through your head that
I'm okay with that though.
Yeah,
I do it. I do it myself.
Oh, I remember you sitting there going, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you became the human bobblehead. But I mean, the thing is, though, is that hey, look, the thing is, you're gonna very, very rare in life you come across a human being who is literally on his deathbed and can go at any time. Really, I mean, can really truly go at any time, and he's still thinking about
Doing
this.
it.
And
I mean, it's crazy.
And the thing is, the amount of money he has had to shell out to do what he's doing, and the fact that he makes no money off these damn shows at all, because whatever money. I mean, and he even used me as an example. Like there were times that I completely forget to pay Trey. Contact 4 days later and say, "Hey, boss, I'm I mean, kind of thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, I've done that," and he paid me earlier this last show. So I'm like, I always feel bad about asking for anything like that because I know what he's going through.
Right, exactly.
But at the same time, I also have to consider the fact that I drove from Ardmore to here, so let's at least make it fair, But
Yeah.
and if anything, he has given me so much to do what I love to do, and the fact that I could have just sat back and said, "Well, I gave it a shot. I'm done."
Something like that. Yeah.
But the fact that I'm 48 years old now and I'm still somewhat, current with it. I don't have to wrestle anymore, thank God. I don't have to put myself in harm's way, although I seem to do that when they put Angel Camacho up there with us. But and the Pillars of Destiny, my God, those are two big human beings. And okay, I mean, if they want to wear
they move the ring a couple of feet every time they get in it, man. It's amazing.
They came to the ring wearing a bear outfit. Okay, I'm like Cocaine Bear called. He wants his fur back.
Yeah,
but
yeah. By the way, how was that match? Your boys okay? Come out of that one okay?
All over the place because it's supposed to be Pillars of Destiny versus the Playmakers, but then they included Luke Justice and his grandfather in the match, so it became they called it a 6-man match, but it was a triple threat match, really. Apparently, no one knows how to count. And so you know,
Well, you know how things change in wrestling from day to day, from minute to minute.
right. I mean, it all came out to being a double count out for everybody, and then we still walk away with the titles. And that's one thing that I kept telling Elijah last night. I'm like when the referees when you're choking Angel Camacho with the ropes, and the referee's counting 1, 2, 3. Okay, break it up. Let him break you up. Because if he disqualifies you, guess what? You keep the title.
That's right. Hold on to it. Keep going.
I'm like, look, the only person who got to abide by the rules is me and your opponent.
There you go.
And if I get you disqualified, guess what? You keep the belt. You're welcome.
And you hold it. Yeah, and you don't even have to worry about that kind of thing.
How many times during commentary did you and I sit there and I would tell you what I would do? And I would say, well, if it was me, I would sit the person with the belt and walk out. And I still keep the belt. And you'd be going, would you stop? I'm like, that's what I would do, and that's what I'm doing now. Because once again, it's allowing our guys to continue being champion.
Yeah.
And if when you stack let's face it, the promotion stacked the odds against the network so high. They even called the show network failure. Okay, I mean, come on, they stacked the odds against us so high, and we still have the belts. And plus, we may or may not be. I think he'll come around. Elijah Saint might be part of the network coming soon. We're just saying. We helped him out last night in his match against Dynamo. So I'm saying there's a more opportunity. See, that's one thing AJ, the Future. That's one thing that he screwed up about. He had his mommy and daddy in his ear. He had Bobby Horn in his ear, telling him, you need the network. We got you. We'll make sure you stay champion forever. All this wonderful stuff that's going to come to him because they were in his ear. So he made a quote-unquote ground decision to leave the network. Fine. You know what? These shows go past this curfew anyway. I don't care about that. I mean, look, I'm more satisfied with people who can drive a car, let alone, can wrestle a match. And last night, Daniel Alejandro, the Bumps and Bruises breakout champion.
Yeah.
He got a taste of Elijah Saint last night. And I'm telling you, and as injured as he is right now, wouldn't be surprised if Elijah Saint was smart, he'd contact me and I'd get my resources together and we would construct a match for him and Daniel Alejandro to do it right now so he can get that damn title. Because if it's been 45 days since Daniel Alejandro has defended that title, when does a champion have to defend that title? Every 30 days?
That's what I heard. That was my understanding.
Let's not give him the Brock Lesnar schedule right now, dude. He's still a kid, right? So
still green behind the ears, right?
I choked the hell out of him. I got videos of it. So look, I'm just saying, if Elijah Saint's smart, he'd contact the network and we can make this work for him. But that's on him. If he doesn't want to, fine.
So who's the leader of the network then?
Well, Elijah has really taken it on being the singles champion that he is. Clearly, I don't think that there's ever really a leader. I kind of orchestrate things, but I don't think there's really a leader. I think we all kind of work for each other, which is smart because with the Winner's Circle, everything filtered through Dean. To the Chaotic Kingdom, everything went through Dante. To the Dot Mob, they all went through JD Griffey. When you always have to answer that one person who's your tribal chief, as it were, and you just satisfy them, bad shit happens, right? So in our case, look, we work together as a team. Elijah wouldn't have been junior heavyweight champion without us working together as a team. The Trap City Playmakers wouldn't have been the tag team champions had it not been all of us working together as a team. I think we all work together really well. We're all each other's puzzle pieces, and we all fit each other very well. And I think bringing in a guy like Elijah Saint, who can really help him in the process, we can help us as well, but we'll help him reach the level that we're at. Let's face it, we don't have anybody right now who be contending for the OIWA International Champion, which apparently a weight class doesn't matter after what happened to Elijah last night. But, I could definitely, reach out to Bam Bam Malone, who was out there last night competing against AJ.
Seen him on WWE as a security guard a couple of times.
I can reach out to him. I can reach out to, several other guys and go, hey, look, why don't y'all come become part of the network? Maybe we can make things happen. You know, no, who knows?
I wonder. I don't know. Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
I think if you're going to reach out to somebody, you should reach out to the big man.
I know you're in love with that guy, but here's the thing about Jace. Okay, Jace can't be at every Source show. I need someone who's going to be at every Source show.
He's a superstar.
Jace has got Nate in his ear right now, and you know what? Nate's also working with D'Anthony Price. D'Anthony Price and Jace have history with each other.
Nate is working with D'Anthony Price. Did I just hear that right?
Nate Vaughn, not Nate.
Oh,
yeah, the sports agent. But I mean, look, here's the thing: if they want to build that bomb and see it blow up, that's on them. All right, I let them have their fun with that. I've got my own issues to deal with. I'm willing to bring in people who are going to be at every show. That's why I can't reach out to Justin James. Justin James, he picks and chooses what shows he wants to go to. You know, that's why I can't reach out to Omega.
Oh, when you're that good, I guess you get that opportunity.
Well, I mean,
right?
Look, I'd love to have Omega be a part of the group. I would, but Omega's got other things going on. You know, I mean, I need people that are people who are CKW/SOAR Championship Wrestling, people who are in the OIWA, who can really just be there when I need them to be there.
But mainly run Dallas show.
Yeah. For me personally, just the Dallas show is all I care about. I mean, I want to go to Arkansas. It's bad if I live in Oklahoma. But I mean, it's just one of those things to where I need
just happen to live there.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where we're gonna figure this out, and we're gonna grow as a network. Once again, I do have resources out there. I was gonna reach out to my buddy Ricky Reyes to have him come out, but
but he retired, didn't he?
He retired. So yeah, but kudos to him. I mean, I know he's sat home and got to watch his son do his thing, and it's like I missed out on so much of this, so I'm gonna need to get back to this. So
what about Joey Garcia? Is he just too far south?
Joey Garcia is not reliable.
Oh.
I mean, I love the kid to death. I think he's fantastic, but you can't count for every show.
Well, every show.
Yeah, and that's the thing because
he has a following. He goes to a lot of places, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, for one thing, I think MPX has got their digs into him right now. So,
really,
yeah, because as long as
they ever get out of that building, or did they find a new building? What's going on? Remember when they were losing that building?
No, they're still there. They're still there in Bedford. They have a new ownership, but
maybe that's what I heard. The new ownership. I thought they were losing the building,
and they're renting the building out to other promotions. Like Carl's show ran out of there one time.
I seen that Carl's show. Yeah, I was gonna say Carl's show ran out of there.
Yeah, and Legacy ran out of there for a little bit, and then so did I think John McNutt's thinking about doing something there. Maybe I don't know if he is. Good for him. I've been down that road with him before. So
well, MPX runs weekly, doesn't it? Or did they pass back off to that?
They run weekly, and because they got to pay for the rent of the building. Because once again, paying monthly rent as opposed to just paying for the one-time deal with that thing.
One night, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a hard deal.
It's a tough one. I don't know, man. I can't wait to. I might go to SOAR. My buddy wants to go to SOAR Mania, so I might be out there and checking it out from the stands. So I'll probably be at that one. Just take in what's going on, see how the show is. I haven't been to a wrestling show in a couple years. I think. What? No. When was the show I was at?
It's been almost 2 years.
It's been towards it just
It was the Christmas
year and a half. January. I did the January stuff.
Okay, well, I remember the Christmas show when Nate destroyed the Christmas tree with Dante.
The Christmas tree, yeah.
And it might have been the one after that you did, and that was
it was the year after that and January. I know the last one I did was January. So it's been about a year and a half, close to a year and a half. So
Yeah.
since I've been out there. So, but who knows? That's what they say in wrestling. You never know what will happen. So you never say never. But I want to come out and check out the show because my buddy wants to go, so I'm gonna go with him and check out Stormmania.
Okay.
So, coop. Well, that's all I got. I didn't really have too much to even get started with today. So we'll do two. Sometimes we do 2 or 3 hours, but today 2 hours.
You don't talk football?
Do we need to?
I mean, do you not
There's
want
been a
to?
lot. Is there any news? Let's see here.
I mean, there's Major League Baseball going on right now.
Yeah, who really cares about Major League Baseball?
Hey, the Texas Rangers are in first place.
Hey, now I will say that's nice to know because usually, and I say usually, through years past, you could pretty much stop talking about Texas Rangers baseball at the end of July, beginning of August. Going through
after the All-Star break, yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes even before. That's how bad they were.
I mean, there have been times when once May rolls around, you're going, "Find more months of this shit."
Well, really, in the NFL right now, there hasn't been a lot of news. I mean, the big news was, Aaron Rodgers signing over, to get there. Big signing. We talked about Lamar Jackson getting his big contract, whether or not he should have got it or not.
Will Zeke come back to the Cowboys?
Well, who?
Zeke.
No.
He's still a free agent.
Still a free agent. They don't need him, and they won't pay him. And I don't even think they like him, per se. I mean, they can talk. They can talk in, it's like me saying I think you're the best. I can sit here and say you're the best color commentator in the world, and
when we all know that's true. So go ahead.
We know it's not true, so they can stroke anybody and make it feel good.
Very true.
Although that having been said, of course, that's the name of the show.
Okay.
I enjoyed working with you immensely. I never laughed so. In fact, I just watched the match where it was the hear no see evil. I couldn't get. I was laughing so hard through the Dean Ryzen match. See no evil. I laughed and I sat and I watched and I laughed at the same moments when I laughed because I just couldn't get through the moment. That was one of my favorite outside of Shane Taylor scaring the living hell out of me. That was probably one of my favorite things.
See, I think I always go back to the Nate Dante Christmas show, and when Nate threw Dante into the Christmas tree. And then you turn around to me and says, "I wanted Nate to deck you." I'm like, he knew better. So and then they both battle outside in the truck, and we couldn't see nothing. So we just
we're just talking. Yeah, you're just talking. We should have made something up during that part. I think we should have just made something up.
We were trying to. We tried to order hot dogs.
We should have went over the top on that.
By the way, last night during intermission, I walked around. There are people who were cheering for the network. Very few of them. There was one kid who was cheering for us. He was wearing a wobble hat. So I disowned him immediately. And I said, "Look, you can make this up to me if you go buy me some nachos right now." And he wouldn't go do that. So I had no use for him. And then
I can't believe that Justin James even talks to you to this day.
Well, because he knows there's no him without me. But I mean, the thing is though is that with what do you call it? Denise comes over to our I guess you want to call it our broadcast table. She's like, "Why didn't y'all put like the skirt on the table?" I'm like, "This is the last one. I didn't know he was doing this. I just showed up here to help him out because clearly, look at him. Look with a name like Chico, he needs help." And then before someone wants to say, "Hey, by the way, Denise, since you saw how they mistreated the Powerfather tonight, don't think I'm worthy of some nachos." She wouldn't go get me some nachos. Make me upset.
Yeah, well, yeah. You expect Denise to get you some nachos?
I'd be nice. I mean, how many times I go out and get them stuff?
Well, it would be nice. Well, how many? Okay, so how many times did you go and get something for Denise?
Oh, several times.
And you're sitting here doing this with a straight face. You're such a liar. He's such a liar. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, God.
What? No, hey. How many times has she reached out to me and said, Trey, can you go to so-and-so place and get me so-and-so things? Sure, no problem. I will do that for you because I love this company so much.
Yeah, is that what
Although
it
you
is?
sit here and send Angel Camacho out there to take on my junior heavyweight champion, which makes no sense whatsoever. Makes no.
By the way, was that a last minute thing?
I got no. Well, because we're supposed to take on Lucha Justice. Instead, they send King Kong and come out to our ring. Listen, Oscar De La Hoya never got his shot against Mike Tyson either. Okay, there's a reason why. There's a weight class. There's a weight class on the title belt itself. Junior heavyweight champion does not mean you are a junior underage type thing. That's something that AJ can have. No, this is a junior heavyweight champion. That means you are less than X. Shut up, watch. Time me to wake up. Sorry. No, it just means that if you are a super heavyweight, which is what he is, he can compete for the SOAR heavyweight champion. Which, by the way, Damien Daystar lost his title last night.
Really? Who'd he wrestle last night?
Laurentez X.
Really?
Yes.
That's going to make for wow. That could make for a very interesting SOAR Mania match.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And D'Anthony Price and Wobble are going to have a strap match because apparently they were beating each other with a belt last night. Honestly, you couldn't hit Wobble hard enough for me, really. I mean, hit him so hard he can't dance no more. But
oh Lord,
and of course the Queen did her thing. She defeated her opponent, and she carried.
Who'd she go after last night?
The next one. I never got her name, so it was just the next one.
Just the next one. Trying to do it. Got it.
Yeah. So I mean,
the Queen's name starts with an I. I think she's in.
No. Queen's Evelyn Carter, sir.
Yeah, no, but she's wrestling a person with a name. It's Romania. What was
it? Starts with an I.
Huh? Yeah, it starts with an I. Elisa Velez is who I think she's wrestling. So
her real name is probably Susan.
I don't know. I'm not sure who she is, but because obviously I haven't been keeping up with what's going on, so I don't even know who it is.
Her real name is probably Susan.
Something like that. By the way, I was going to go off, but since we're just yakking, I remember I was watching the show that had Machikon in it. About that crazy Hart dude.
Oh, who's Teddy Hart?
Yeah, Teddy Hart. See, and it was interesting. I was watching that.
I got to an episode after that, and I couldn't watch anymore because I love Mach so much. I feel so bad for her that she.
Incredible. You see, and it just goes to show. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Wrestlers on our level need to be with the fans because you never know what the fans are going through. And Machikon is just one where it's completely opposite.
First of all, her name is Machiko, not Machikon.
I'm thinking Shaka Khan. Sorry.
Yeah. Get those two right.
Machiko.
I mean, even though she's not associated with the group anymore, she's still down to fight. Okay, so I'm pretty sure she would want to put up a fight with you.
No, actually, I've talked to her. We're okay. But it's interesting when I say you never know what the fans going through. You never know what the wrestler is also going through. So it's really kind of because during the time that we caught her and she was over on AEW Dark, I don't know if you remember that. I mean, that's when all this was going. A part of that time is when this was going on with that nut. Yeah. So
it was before AEW Dark.
Well, no, I know it was, but it was her coming off of that. I mean, so it was before AEW Dark, but it was within a year. It was within a year, so kind of thing.
It's funny when she used to valet for Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart used to go to Texoma Pro Wrestling back when it was NWA Texoma, and she'd come out to the ring as a valet, and me and Kevin go to the shows to represent the offshoots, right? And so one day Kevin looked at her, looked at me, and he's like, "Has he ever thought about having a pussy on a pole match? Because she'd bring a cat out to the ring, right?" So,
oh Lord have mercy.
so years go by. Okay, but by the way, I asked him like, "How'd you have that?"
Now that you say years go by, I know what direction this is going.
So I asked Kevin, it's like, what would that imply? It's like, well, you take a cat and a pole, you hang the cat up there, and you have the person grab the cat and beat their opponent with it. I'm like, oh, okay. So years later, NAWA is doing a show out there at Sue Ellen's,
Right.
A place that Mosh was bartender at.
Yep.
She's taking on either Thunder Rosa or Ty Valkyrie. I can't remember who she took on that night. But anyway, after the match, I go up to her. I finally have this one interview with her. I'm like, and Kevin's with, you don't have the balls to say that to her. I'm like, okay, watch. So I go up to Mach and I'm like, hey, listen, I have the dumbest question I'm going to ask you. Just go with it, please. Don't bite my head off. I did not write this question. So when Kevin's with me, I go up to her. I'm like, let me ask you a question. I used to bring a cat out to the ring, right? It's like, yes, I did all the time. I'm Mr. Money. I'm like, right. You ever consider having a pussy on a pole match? She's like, what is that? I was like, where you put a cat on a pole and then you have your opponent climb the pole to grab the cat and beat their opponent with it. I wouldn't do that to my cat. I'm like, okay. Well,
you're lucky she didn't beat the shit out of you, man.
And I looked over at Kevin. I looked over at Kevin like saying, "See, you thought I wouldn't have asked that question." And then had I not prepped her for it, I probably would have been a different response. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
But
you never had a question you wouldn't ask, I guess, is probably the best way to put that.
I mean, I'll ask it as long as I know. Yeah.
I want to see the end result. One of these days, I want to see you get smacked upside your head. Matter of fact, I might have to do that one of these days too.
I'll smack you back. That's the difference.
Yeah, it'll be 2 hits. Me hitting you and you hitting the ground there, pal.
No, I hit you so hard your beard will fall off.
I know, man. Hey, the beard's coming in good though, man. Well, hopefully I'll be a good Santa's
gonna be pissed again.
Okay.
You'd be the one thing
I'm never worried about that. Yeah, the hands. I'm gonna be a hand Santa, moving my hands all the time.
Nobody wants a handsy Santa Claus, sir. Nobody wants that.
Man, do I set them up for you or what? I'm a creative genius. What can I say? Well, it's time for a nap. I'm getting old. I'm looking for a nap. I work a full-time job working 40 hours a week. I don't know how you do what you do. Listen, don't interrupt me before I give you your props. I mean, I don't know how you work 3 days a week, 16-hour days. I don't know how you do it.
And then overtime on top of it.
I love the idea of 4 hours. I'm almost thinking that I want to do that myself in this new job that I am, because it takes me forever because I work 40 hours, I work 8 hours, 5 days a week. I should have done the 4 10-hour days is what I should have done. But I felt that maybe I shouldn't have. And now I wish I did.
My whole thing is if I knock out, and I don't do it all the time, but I mean, if I work.
I know you worked the other day when you shouldn't have.
Yeah, because I went in and worked. I worked 5 hours just because they needed coverage, and I had that. But I said, as long as I'm off by 7, because I have a show to do at 9, and they understand that I have a life outside of their job. When I don't have a life outside their job, I'm more than happy to go in there and help out. If it's 5 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. I mean, I'll go the full 16 boat with them if they need me to. I can't go past that, but I mean. I've had times where I'd work second shift and that would end at about 11. And I'm like, y'all need anybody else at checkpoint, anybody else to so-and-so in the casino, and they put me wherever. And I'm like, all right, I'll just sit here and listen to my radio and just, take in the money. And, it sucks because Oklahoma taxes are a lot different than Texas taxes. So, I mean.
There's no taxes here on the state.
Yeah, so exactly. So, I mean, it bites us in the ass a little bit. But
Oh yeah, I
At the end of
imagine.
the day, they got these little gimmicks they call bills. They keep coming in the mail, and in my case, keep coming in my email. So
Monthly. Yeah.
I gotta pay them. Although
Yeah.
it was
Gotta
nice
pay.
because I had not been home for so much this last month. My electricity was $47,
How much is your rent again? 500?
$425.
You're a punk. God, I hate you sometimes. No, I hate
Listen,
you all
the
the time.
Podfather knows how to negotiate certain deals. Okay.
I guess. I mean, geez. I can't imagine paying only $450 in rent. It just baffles my
Well,
mind.
well, the thing was like, if I was moving there now, it'd be about 5. But because I'm grandfathered into what I'm currently at, that's where as long as I stay there. Although it's funny because the little spigot for my shower just came off the wall recently, so I'm like, I'm gonna take a shower. So
well, it'll take a while for that to get fixed, but man, I think
Okay.
I might suffer through that for 450 a month. Jesus.
yeah, I know you're jealous.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm jealous of. I'm not jealous for you for anything but your rent.
Well, I'm pretty sure Sonny had the opportunity to manage his own group of people. Okay, let me ask you a question. Because of
Okay.
your association in Sword Championship Wrestling, if you had, let's say, 4 people you wanted to manage that were going to be there on a monthly basis, you can't sit there and pick your Risens and your Jace Jose's or whoever else's. 4 people that you would manage at Sword Championship Wrestling, who would they be?
Well, that, like you said, monthly. I mean, some of the folks that are quote unquote regulars are not even there every month. So
No. The regulars are there.
huh?
The Dante Smileys, the Dean Flemings, those guys are always there. Minus
Oh, I know, but
minus a hiccup or two, but I mean they're always there. So given the current people on that roster, and I know you
the
don't know
current people on the roster.
well, I mean even back then when Kerwin Nix was there or
Okay,
guys,
all right. By the way, how's he doing? I haven't
I
heard from
have
him in
no
a while.
idea. He
I
a
haven't
ghost.
heard from him. Huh?
He a ghost. I don't see him. He like John Cena. I don't see him.
Well, I tell you who my number one draft pick would be. If I had the number one draft pick with the number one pick, I would take the big man.
But he's on the board.
I know, but you said I could pick from someone who was.
If he was going to be there every show.
Yeah, if he was going to be there, I'd take the big man. He would be my number one pick because he looks the part. I'm telling you right now, he looks like a champion. He acts like a champion. Works out like a champion. And he should be a champion. I think he's a champion in one of the other ones he goes to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a champion. So I would pick the big man. He would be my guy as far as number one. Number 2, 3, and 4. You said 4 of them.
If you had to do at least 4,
I would probably take Dean Fleming.
Oh, he hates you.
Heel Dean Fleming, not.
Yeah, you could. Heel Dean Fleming you couldn't handle because heel Dean Fleming is all about heel Dean Fleming, not about those associated with him.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying, if I had my pick, because listen, heel Dean Fleming was very enjoyable to watch. And if I could get a regular, I'd bring in the one I'm in love with. I bring in Rochelle. That I would love to be. I'd love to see her.
There's a training water with you too, so go ahead.
Yeah. Always had that connection with her. Who would be the other one?
That's a violation, sir.
It's something. Not if she says yes. Anyway.
Well, she never has.
Yeah, no kidding. Because I would at least want one lady, so I'd take the and the other one. Who would I'd probably? Well, he's not there all the time, but I'd probably take Justin James. I probably would do that based on who was wrestling at the time we were doing that. I'd probably take Justin James. Okay. Just because he is that too. Well, no, maybe I'd take Omega.
Nah. You don't want Omega.
Why not? I like Omega.
But
Always
he-
like Omega.
but
He hates me, but I always like him.
Listen, I had those. Even when I had to go up against Omega with the network and his group, I never laid
Mhm.
hands on Omega because I love the guy so much. I cannot do that to him. He's a member of my show. I will not disrespect him. Now, that whole thing with the sword trying to tear me apart, as far as trying to draw a wedge into my life, and sending him and his group after us because they weren't getting a fair opportunity and blaming me on that, which clearly that was not the problem. Even me and Omega have talked this thing out. Look, this is we did it on the air. It's like, look, I had nothing against you, but at the end of the day, we got a match. We got to fight against each other. It is what it is. Okay. At the end of the day, my group. Okay, in the 4-on-4 match, we didn't get we got cheated from SOAR because they sent us somebody else in substitution of Justin James.
Mhm.
They sent us a rookie who knew nothing about what we were about and decided to bail.
Yeah.
And then of
exactly.
course, on the 3-on-3 thing, we beat them. So hey, it all works out. But look, it is what it is. And I mean,
Well,
if
Now that I think about that, Rochelle wasn't a regular. She wasn't every show.
she's a DFW grad, so she's
Yeah.
an all pro. Yes.
So I'd probably substitute her with Persia. I'd probably bring Persia back in the mix, but
Oh my God,
since
why?
COVID hit, we haven't unfortunately seen Persia.
Well, you know what
So-
though, my thing is that if there was one guy and he's not really a part of, he's been at SOAR, I think he'd benefit greatly from the network, and Nate Collins was one of them.
Oh, the
concrete cowboy. Yeah, I think
I just loved him.
but
I wish they were back part of the shows, like when earlier.
Yeah.
They
Well,
were
I
in-
will say this though. There's two guys I would really like to have be a part of the network. One, D'Anthony Price. We had a shot with him. He decided to go with the agent. I think D'Anthony Price has an it factor that is missing from our group. But there's one guy.
What a delusional opinion about himself? Is that what's missing
How's
from your group?
No. He has a killer instinct.
I think he's delusional.
No.
This guy thought he could beat Jay Sosay. Are you kidding me?
And he almost did.
I mean, just come on.
He almost did. Give me a break. But anyway,
Almost.
but look, there's one guy who I had a brief moment with that I think would rock SOAR to his foundation, and that is bringing on Nate the Great. Because he listened to me.
But does he like you? I mean, I think at times he likes you, but then I think at times he's I'm much better than this guy, which he'd be right. But
Look, here's the thing. When his wife gets in his ear, when Bobby gets in his ear, when Jason Maldonado gets in his ear, when everybody outside of me gets in his ear and tells him what a bad person I am because I say bad things about him on commentary, he takes that to heart. But it also made him better, by the way. Let's face it, it all made him better.
Is that what it is?
When he started listening to me and he started developing that killer instinct and he started to get that fight back in his soul that he was missing for such a long time because he had some people weighing on his emotions, he was a different person. He was easier to talk to. And you know what? I think him and the network would be perfect. But then once again, does he want it? He's got a lot of things up in the air. He's got real life to say.
Man, he's got a job and a family and a baby. I understand. I get where he's coming from.
Yeah,
Plus, he lives
I
in
do too.
Rowlett. That he's got to work.
I do too. But at the same time, having said that, it's that what if? What if we had a year, just 1 year? How much more better could he be as a member of the network? He'd be going after the SOAR Heavyweight Championship. He'd be in the OIWA International title picture. Bobby.
Isn't that time come and gone with him and Dante? I mean, haven't we seen just about as much as you can get with those two in reality? Let's be honest, Nate has only really beaten him once.
Okay, but understand this though. Dante's always had a group with him. Nate's always been on his own. So now you reverse that a little bit. Dante on his own right now, and Nate the Great
So you want
could have the network.
Nate the Great to be on your squad?
Yes.
Hmm.
Just think of,
Would this be a regular Nate the Great, or would this be an altered version of what we've seen from the Nate the Great?
this would be the Nate the Great that works, that finally understands his place. His place. And
See, but with you, it's always been about you putting him in his place. That's what it's always. Oh, come on! Listen, I only sat next to you for 3 years. I don't think I've heard you say too many positive things about Nate the Great.
Okay. You're misconstruing all this.
Oh, I am.
I'm saying. Look. When he was coming to the ring and getting booed, he didn't know how to handle that. You and I said it.
I remember he got booed. I was shocked.
Yeah, and I'm like, he doesn't know what to do. He's lost. Imagine if he found his place and he'd go, this is not about them. It's about me. This is my legacy. This is what my kids have to watch me do. Dante has his kids, and he can run roughshod all over the OIWL. He wants to do motivational videos all he wants. He talks about putting people at the top of the mountain. Why? So when they stand next to him and kick him down the mountain, that's what he does. Well, why not be the guy who stands up to Dante Smiley and say, look, I beat you before. I'm the last person to beat you here at SOAR. I can do it again. This time I'll do it without a steel cage. I'll do it without the Chaotic Kingdom getting in my way. And now I have backup. I'm playing the what if game,
Well, you don't know what if is. I'd pay to see that. Just sooner or later, Nate would get sick of you and beat the holy hell out of you.
First of all, he would not get sick of me because first of all, those few months that me and him were talking to each other, and I was actually
in his ear.
In his ear, okay, sure, okay. As I was there on the phone, or I was there
on his shoulder, and what it was the devil on the shoulder.
Or if I was there at the show, telling him that he could be great again. That's the thing. He could be great again, but he's letting too many distractions get in his head. And unfortunately, a lot of that was people like you. People like you say, "No, don't do it. Don't do it. We love you. We just
hold up.
Tired of you right now." So
I would be okay with almost anybody but you.
You will love it, and you know it. Imagine Nate the Great coming out to the ring, being managed by Trey Mack, the Podfather.
Man,
awesome
I guess hell would freeze over. I guess I would know that hell has froze over.
Listen, it would send chills up Bobby Horn's spine. It would rock the dude. Even AJ would sit there and go, "Wow, no, that's a grown-up decision. I can't make grown-up decisions because I'm underage. That's a grown-up decision. Oh my goodness!" And let's face it, Nate, he's got family in Arkansas. He can go up there and win. I mean, he's been CKW champion before. So
it's a long trip. I would love to, one of these days, when I got nothing to do, which is hardly ever. I would love to go up to Arkansas. It's just, God, it's so far. It was bad enough going down to Cleburne, for God's sake. I mean, for God.
That was fun, though.
God.
That was fun, though.
Well, they were fun. I will say, traveling with Trey Mack is, Trey Mack, but Trey's it is. That was fun.
I made you a better person, sir.
But you feared me for my life. One of my biggest fears, and you don't know this, so this will be something new for you. One of the things, because you drove, because I don't want to drive that far, so you drove.
You're just a dealer.
And going down to Cleburne, they had those lanes where they had those cement blocks on the side, that are right there on the. It is a fear of mine driving in that lane next, and you loved it. You were right there all the way down. If it had a cement barrier on the side, he was driving next to it. I'm sitting here holding the oh shit bar, like just like my hand has red after all of it.
Clearly, you're not a NASCAR fan.
No, I'm not.
Those guys ride that. Those guys ride that line
first of all, I don't even know why they put those things 1 inch away from the white line, if not on it, which I haven't understood. They're doing work, 20 feet away. They can't move it out 1 foot. It just blows my mind. I don't even get that.
If you want a white knuckle ride, you go tell your daughter who's 17.
Hey, listen.
I'll say. Hey, are you ready to be tested with your driving? Say, yeah. Where are we gonna go? We're gonna go see your grandmother. My daughter lives in Aubrey, Texas. Her grandma lives in Meade, Oklahoma. It's about a 70-mile difference or whatever. So we get in the car. We hit up 377, and she's weaving quite a bit because she doesn't quite understand the concept of the steering wheel. And she sees the oncoming traffic on the left side coming this way, and she thinks she has to get over more. She was weaving to the right.
Can you get over? Get over. Where'd you get the over?
No. See, I'll sit on the other side with my hand on the wheel, going, no, this way. But she keeps telling me the entire time. I don't want to go on I-35. I hate the interstate. I don't want to go on I-35. Okay, fine, whatever. Then we get to our grandmother's house. Her grandparents were excited to see her drive up there and everything else, and it's a big moment for her because it's what this is about. It's a big moment for her, right? And it's also our bonding moment because we haven't really bonded in the last couple of years. So for us to do that, and then she's like, "I want to go to Outback." I'm like, that's on I-35, right? And Denton. She's like, "Oh, well, they'll probably be closed by the time we get it over." I'm like, and then I just throw out, well, there's Texas Roadhouse. Yeah, where's that at? It's over in Sherman. So okay, let's go there. Off US 70. It's no different than I-35, by the way.
Not really. You're right.
So we take 70 down to 75. We get on 75, and she's seen all the same road signs she's seen on I-35. And she did wonderful with she maintained her speed the right way. I got her to learn how to pass cars a certain way because she's never had to pass anybody before. I had to show her how to, because she'll take the steering wheel like 4 inches to the left really quick, and the car will just jerk with her. Whereas opposed to just ease in there, and ease it back the other way, and it's just going in. It's just fine. You're already going 75 miles an hour, so she's learning that. And once again, a white knuckle ride a little bit, but at the same time, she's never really had the opportunity to actually get behind the wheel of a car that much. So for us to do this with her and not yell at her all the time when she's driving, which is something I'm trying to not do.
That's why they created driving instructors.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably the worst driving instructor there is. God knows I've got a list of tickets out there, but I mean, it is what it is. And hey, she did okay. We're gonna do more driving later on today when stuff works. So hopefully, it all works out for her. I mean, once again, I enjoyed road trips. Being a former truck driver and seeing the country the way I did. Now I get a chance to actually stop and actually enjoy it. But to actually go and see, the St. Louis Arch, and go see, downtown Nashville, and go into Atlanta, Georgia, and to go around New York City and all that stuff. That's all well and good, but you don't actually get to enjoy it. So actually,
you're right about that.
You and I are doing. We were going down to Cleveland back in the day, and that kind of stuff. It was a lot of fun, and the back and forth, and I did have a hard time when I came to pick you up, and you're like, I requested a limo. Why not? Well, I'm a diva. Why didn't I get the limo? And I'd explain to you I don't have a CDL for that. So you got kind of pissy with me about that for a second.
Hey, man. Hey. I prefer not to drive the house. I'm about ready to do a cross country drive.
So all right. Where are you gonna go?
I'm moving the wife's mother from Tucson to here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's a whole lot of nothing out that one, West Texas. Dude,
Let's just say I'm not looking forward to it. It's just,
years ago, me and my buddy and some friends of ours and my daughter, we all went out to Amarillo to try the steak eating contest over at
I remember that.
And
that was funny. I watched it. I watched you try to eat that thing within an hour.
I got close. I got halfway through it. I mean, I ate all my sides, so that was a plus.
That's probably what stopped you.
By the way, for those who are watching, all two of you, look, here's the thing: if you have a chance to go out to Amarillo and go to the Big Texan, if you don't want to do the steak competition, their steak is phenomenal.
Oh no,
there's a reason why they can do that. Now, my situation was I cut the steak in half, which is my biggest fault I ever made. Because when you do that, you're letting all the cold air get inside the other half of the steak, making it really bad. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I cut half of the steak off, ate the first half, ate all my sides. Got to the second half, started eating that, and then I couldn't do it because it tasted bad. And people were walking by the table going, "You got this. You got this." I'm like, "No, I don't."
No, I don't. No, I don't. My brother wants me to go to Vegas and do that heart attack burger place. Listen, I'm big, I'm fat, and I eat a lot, but dude, I don't eat that much. I mean, come on, let's get serious.
Well, it's going to kill me now.
The most I could do is probably 3 of the sausages. I mean, that they sell in the store, for God's sake. I mean, this big ass hamburger this friggin' tall. I mean, come on. I'm not crazy either.
I'm preparing for the gastric bypass surgery right now, and I'm going through all my psych evaluations and everything else, and I'm beginning to the point where that big ass steak is going to be a distant memory because all I've looked forward to now is like one bite.
But it's interesting you say that because I think this just started from me working from home, because if I worked out there, I'd come home, I'd have a couple of sandwiches. I eat a couple of sandwiches now, man. I feel like a bloated pig. So I've gone down to one.
Well, first of all, you should burn off enough by just moving your arms the way you do.
I think that's it. I can burn it off.
I mean, this is like your big Nordic Trek type thing. You just keep moving your arms, like you're going places.
Hey, yeah, man. It's the most exercise I get, man.
All right. But no, I'm getting ready for this, and hopefully it, it'll be a life changer for sure. But that's cool.
At least you're not doing it like Bobby had to do it. Good God.
Well,
be in the freaking hospital, 9 months out of the freaking year.
Yeah.
Man, just amazing. But first of all, I'm glad he's out of the hospital. Second of all, I'm glad he feels good. And hopefully that tube they got sooner or later, he still has the tube. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So sooner or later, hopefully that'll go away soon. And then, we can.
Well, they got to fix the intestines first, and that's the thing. I don't know if that can be fixed. So. But I mean, look, kudos to the man. I mean, he is. There's a reason why I put him in the Knoxville Hall of Fame, and it wasn't because I work for the man. I mean, the man's a superhero. The man's a superhero to a lot of these kids, and
he probably does way too much for them. Now I know that sounds horrible when I say that because it sounds this guy would literally, if you didn't have a shirt, he'd give you his shirt. I mean, sometimes he's so nice to his own detriment. I think that gets in the,
Well, I think the thing about him is that, he's dealing with kids.
Yes.
This generation of kids.
It's tough.
That's hard.
Well, I know.
Because a lot of them come across entitled. A lot of them come across lazy. A lot of them come across the fact that those get stuff handed to them because, man, unfortunately, my generation has become the every time they compete they get a trophy type generation. So, this is what we're stuck with. And I mean, like
I can't tell you how disappointed growing up I was when I didn't win. But here's the thing: it gets you ready for life. I mean, you're going to have a lifetime of disappointment. Learn how to deal with it on this level, and then when you get to the level, you can maybe handle it. But man, the trophies that drives me nuts.
I mean, clearly not everybody gets the job they want, right?
So, yeah, exactly. I mean, and sometimes you don't get it until you're 56 years old.
Right. So I mean, it's the whole. the whole mindset of, well, they competed and we spent a lot of money and this and that, and and we make our kids feel good like they're winners, and and it really bothers me where like at certain sporting events for younger kids who are like 4, or under, or like 5 or under, they don't keep score.
I, well, no, but here's the thing, and I know I'm going to let me just preface what I'm about ready to say. Sounds horrible. I don't even know why they're even doing it. And I know the parents get a blast and the kids do it. I don't even know why they do it. Just go out to the park and play soccer and be done with it. No, it's going to be this competitive thing and everything else.
I'm all cool with team sports. I'm all cool with organized sports like that. But the thing is that your kid can learn a lot more through failures than they're going to win through successes.
I fully agree, and but that's our generational gap that we have to deal with the just like you and your wrestling, the guys that you're trying to mentor in wrestling. I mean, I've heard the story about Eliza. I was there when it happened. I mean, there's that story, and we'll talk about that one day. But it was.
I mean, I'm not talking about it now if you don't mind. For
go ahead.
I mean. Yeah. When you and I were doing commentary, right, and him and Chris had a one-on-one match with each other.
I remember that,
and we watched the practice version of that, and Elijah told me everything he wanted to do: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and I was like, knock off D through G.
Yeah, no shit.
And if you're gonna be a heel, work the crowd. What show anger, show that you're angry, show that you're better than your opponent. Do all that stuff. Have Chris work from underneath. So he said, "Okay, I understand. No problem. We'll do that. No problem." So we get ready to start the match. We get ready to start the show. Their match is up. They do the match. He does the same exact thing he did in the practice match they had. But intermission, I go back there and he's like, "I know you're upset. What do you think?" I'm like, "Well, considering you did nothing I told you to do." I mean, look. Here's the bottom line. No one has come to pay to see you wrestle. They've come to see you be entertaining. If you're a good guy or a bad guy, can you carry the crowd? One way or the other. If you can get the crowd making noise, which you did none of that, then you're on to something. And you sit there and put on a match where you can look in your eyes and tell, okay, I do this one next. Okay, I do this one next. Okay, that's coming next. Okay, he's gonna hit me now. Okay, no. Okay, when you can read that in your face, then the moment that the fans are looking at is gone. And
absolutely.
And I was telling Chico last night because he was asking me, as far as do I stay in character throughout the entire time I'm here? I'm like, yeah. If there are people out here in the crowd that see me, I'm the Podfather. I'm not Trey McClain to them,
Right.
I mean, this company pays me to be this character. I have no T-shirts to sell. This is a one of one. Okay, I have it.
I can help you with that if you need that. So we'll talk about that later.
I saw your ads. I'll get with you. By the way, I saw your shirt where on there a big old patch of the hardest working man. That's whatever. Like, golly. Of course, you put that on there. But no, look, I know I see it. But here's the thing. And even the criticism detriment, he didn't know how to be. And so to see these guys find themselves and realize, holy shit, maybe what I wanted to do didn't work, but maybe what is working is what we're being told. Now it's cool because now the crowd's into you.
Right.
When you have the crowd bringing you signs, Let's Go Network, or if they're cheering, your name or whatever the thing is, that's hot.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I remember when our group and Omega's group were going at it, and we're two heel groups really, but Omega had to be more baby facing us. And after the match, we all go back in the back, and he's like, guys, that crowd's fucking hot for us. Bottom line, because we all brought it. Now we're all relatively still green, but it's just one thing that we can all take this and turn more out of it. when you overanalyze stuff, and I think Eli runs in this problem quite a lot. When you overanalyze your antics in the ring and things that you may have missed out on, how did you cover them up? What made it better? Case in point, there was supposed to be a time last night where when I jumped up on the ring apron and Angel was supposed to reel back with his fist and get ready to start hitting me until Elijah's supposed to clip him. Well, Elijah clipped him before he even did that.
Oh,
But it wasn't a big
Lord.
deal though. But because once again the message I got up there, I got distracted. Me and Angel had interaction with each other. I got called Tubby, but then it still worked. The outcome was still the same, and the crowd loved it. That's the thing. The crowd was into it.
What did you hear back from? I don't know if you heard. What did Michael Irvin think of the whole thing?
I don't know what. I mean, I heard he was there, so I didn't ever see him.
That's all you heard. Got it.
Yeah. But I mean, I know Chris is his nephew, so it was kind of cool.
I did not know that. Here, interestingly enough, I thought that when I first heard and seen him, I was like, wow, I wonder if he's related. But then again, that's like saying, I'm related to John Clark in Chicago. That's just stupid, But
first of all,
it just actually was.
Hey, you want a deep cut? I thought you were related to Bob Clark, the guy who created Porky's.
Well, I come from the backwoods, so that we're Porky's
the
from, so
backwoods.
I understand that.
Florida? I mean, that's what. No, but you want some deep cuts? I'll get some Clark deep cuts.
Yeah, well, if you want me to go Steve McLean, I could do that if you wanted it. But
hey, I've had the Don McLean thing thrown at me for quite a while. And I'm like, so I'd ask my ass like, Dad, is Don McLean related to? He's like, oh God, no.
Or it'd be like my dad. Everybody thought my dad looked like we went to a St. Louis baseball game, St. Louis Cardinals baseball game. He walked in, everybody thought he looked like Ed McMahon. He started autographing Ed McMahon.
Oh, I remember being with my dad at a grocery store, right? And girls from my school were walking up to me, giving him a hug, thinking that he was their math teacher, who was Coach Carter. So when Coach Carter got to meet my dad, he was saying, "See, I know you're a good-looking guy."
Hey, there you go. Yeah, it's funny. Well, hey.
See, we ran for more.
Oh, I don't mind. I got a life. My Sunday is this show and relaxations. I could have went to this football game, but that would have took effort.
Okay. I got something for you.
Okay.
Something you probably never talk about. Okay.
Okay.
And maybe it's a dying thing. Professional boxing.
What? Okay.
Clearly, it's been the hell?
Did your cat knock out? There you go. Yeah, you're back.
My internet went nuts. Now, is there any chance that it can ever bounce back?
I think I'll tell you where.
Or has UFC destroyed it?
I think the problem with wrestling are the promoters. And then the problem you add on top of it, and I'll give you an example of that. It would be Floyd Money Mayweather. I think ruined boxing for me.
Because Oscar De La Hoya was the same way.
Well, but Oscar De La Hoya would fight whoever was in front of him. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell you right now, and I know, I guess Mayweather won, but him dodging Pacquiao for as many years as he did, claiming he was so great, and then finally doing it, years later. I just wish that match happened 5 to 7 years before, when they're both in their friggin' prime and just, being where he at, because I think Pacquiao could have beat him. Mm-hmm. But I go back to the days where it's kind of a lost art on pay-per-views, because I went through the Tyson era on the pay-per-views, and dude, you just couldn't beat a Tyson pay-per-view, and mainly because
shorted by
yeah,
Arquette.
he knocked him out in the first round, but the undercards were unbelievable to get to that match.
Right.
And the undercards are nothing. When you got the guy, who's the dude who's in WWE right now, boxing? Yeah, I'm. Is that the guy's name?
Tyson Fury.
Yeah. No. He just is going up against the Miz, or don't like the Miz. Tyson Fury is actually a boxer. I'm talking this internet sensation dude
Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul's not a boxer. Okay, it's way out of its element now. Because listen, just because he could go in and fight a couple of matches and a couple of fights. Listen, I'm not saying he's just not a professional boxer. He's an internet, egomaniac is my problem with that.
But here's the thing about him, and this is where it wins me over on the wrestling part.
Or the wrestling, yes, I'm all on him on wrestling.
But here's the thing: both him and his brother are really, really talented, and I think because the internet thing makes them look like a bunch of dorks, I think because people don't take him seriously.
Right, I get it.
The thing is, these guys put a lot of time and effort into what they're going after, one way or the other.
Right.
And once they're 100% locked in, you can't stop them. So I think, maybe they are the kick in the ass that boxing needs. In a way.
You think so, or are they just taken away from the tradition of what boxing is, and that's why it's hard to watch?
But what is the tradition of boxing? Crooked promoters putting together matches that don't really sell, and then they're going to charge you $50 to watch the show because their guy is going to take on some guy who probably won't last 3 rounds. That's the history of boxing right now. You may have had your occasional Showtime matches, of your Tyson versus Lennox Lewis, your Vander Holyfield versus Riddick Bowe type thing, but right now those days are gone. And
there's no question.
And if you have to have a resurgence in boxing, maybe Logan and Jake Paul doing their thing right now with WWE and boxing, maybe it's a step in the right direction. I mean, look,
I think you might be right for the newer generation.
Right. But
as far as a guy like us, when you look at boxing, I don't know about you, but when I look at boxing, I look at guys that dedicate their life to that craft.
Look, my favorite movies of all time are Rocky, okay? I love the Rocky movies, minus Rocky 5. Love the Creed movies, except the last one.
Which one was 5?
the one where he fought a street fight with Tommy Morrison.
Oh, yeah, that was that was bad.
Honestly, Creed 3 wasn't that great. So,
3 wasn't great. After 2, I was, I did watch Creed a couple of months ago.
Because it made me want to watch Rocky 4 again. But the thing is, though, is that I love those movies. I love what it does. But after that, you're going, do I care about boxing? I mean, is watching this movie going to make me want to go watch the next so-and-so fight that Tyson Fury has with so-and-so? Probably not. But, there are fans for it. And I think it can definitely be re-educated to a newer audience. Maybe guys like Jake Paul and Logan Paul can be a big part of that. Bringing in Conor McGregor from UFC to box Floyd Mayweather was a stroke of genius. I mean, didn't.
Well, listen. I would have loved to watch Conor McGregor kick the shit out of him because I just don't like him.
It didn't happen.
But it didn't happen. But
I mean, the thing is,
I think Mayweather just kind of ruined it for me in reality.
Maybe so. And but there's other fighters.
But at least he was a lifer. He's had a lot of fights, so it's not like he comes out. How many fights has Logan Paul had in his career? 7?
Like wrestling matches?
No, boxing matches.
I don't have no idea. I have no idea what's boxing.
Probably 7. And if it's above 7, I just didn't hear about it. And not that even if I did, I would have paid attention because that's where boxing. But he's not a boxer, and I more than the fact I look at the respect of the sport of boxing. And this is not just a guy you can just walk in and do it. And now, same thing with wrestling, but wrestling is not, it's entertainment. It's, so I get how he works that persona in wrestling, and it works because I actually enjoy it, but I don't buy him as a boxer.
But he goes to the Performance Center and learns how to
exactly.
do it. So, and he learns how they want him to do it. So that's why that works. That's why Bad Bunny can have the matches he's having with WWE right now and be used sparingly, and it works because he takes.
Yeah, he didn't Priest train him, right?
Yeah, I mean, he
Priest came out of the Monster Factory. I'm trying to get him on my show, by the way.
But he
no, he did. He came out of the Monster Factory.
But here's the thing: Bad Bunny takes his time, his money, his there's a lot of things he'd be doing with his life right now. A lot more things he'd be doing. Yet he loves this so much. Even Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg can't do nothing in wrestling except for just be Snoop Dogg. But you know what? He loves.
Well, Snoop Dogg can't do anything in anything because he's Snoop Dogg.
But here's the thing: he loves it so much. He'll promote the hell out of it. They'll have a.
Oh, and he even had the ad lib when Shane McMahon tore his quad.
Genius. So
it was, and it was horrible too, but it was genius. I lost it. There he is. He's back.
Yeah. I got my daughter calling. I'm gonna pick her up. All right.
All right. Well, I'll talk at you later.
All right. Bye.
All right. So he is the Podfather. So we'll kick him out so he can get out. There he goes. And remove, and we're back. We're just BSing. Norman didn't have much to talk about. I was hoping that I would get Cuervo because I got some stuff for Cuervo next time I get him up on the show. That we'd be ready because I held on it on purpose. I mean, as you can see, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff in the draft and some of the things that we're going so that I'm actually saving for. Well, not the wrestling stuff. He's not wrestling, but back into get Cuervo back in the show. Some of the things that we're going to be talking about up on the show. So it is going to do it for me. I mean, heck, I remained, when Trey and I start talking, the Lord knows what could end up happening or what we talk about. So, but always good to have Trey Mack up on the show, and we'll get Z back next week. He went to the football game, and but hopefully we'll get Cuervo next week. Oh well, we won't get him next week, the week after, because next week's Mother's Day. So I doubt we'll get him back for that. So, but that is going to do it for us here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. Thanks for everybody that's joined in, especially that of Trey Mack, sitting in, and Z for a little bit before he had to hit that over to the football game. Outside of that, I hope you have a great day. We'll catch you next week here on the Couch Potato Sports Show. And that being